Hey, everybody. Welcome aboard. This is what we call the lie stream. And we'll be seeing some lies later. This is President Biden, President of the United States, a country that contains about 4.25% of the population and currently has 21% of the coronavirus deaths. Sad day today, officially, and this happened a few days on the live stream because we use a different metric. But officially, according to Johns Hopkins University, we just passed 500,000 dead today. Give me a second here. I want to update something. So we're just going to go low-key today. We're going to watch Biden's speech calling for the moment of silence. We will observe that moment of silence. I will ask you in the chat room to try and avoid chatting during the moment of silence. And I have then a little bit of Merrick Garland's confirmation hearing in the Senate queued up. Hello to everybody. Hello, Eugene. Hello, Ann. Hello, Cujo. I saw Marcy. Hi, Allison. Cindy, I think I saw you in here. Chuck was in here. So we'll get going with that right now. Just about everyone, including myself, has lost at least someone, or they know someone who is close to someone that they love who has lost someone this year in the United States, worldwide. But President Biden is just the president of the United States, and we have done by far, the worst job with the coronavirus of any country in the developed world. So we'll listen to this, and then we'll move on from there.
Small card in my pocket that I carry with each day. I receive a small card in my pocket that I carry with me in my schedule. It shows the number of Americans who've been infected by or died from COVID-19. Today we mark a truly grim, heartbreaking milestone. 500,071 dead. That's more Americans who've died in 1 year in this pandemic than in World War I, World War II, and the Vietnam War combined. That's more lives lost to this virus than any other nation on earth. But as we acknowledge the scale of this mass death in America, we remember each person and the life they lived. They're people we knew. They're people we feel like we knew. Read the obituaries and remembrances. The son who called his mom every night just to check in. The father's daughter who lit up his world. The best friend who was always there. The nurse and nurses, but the nurse who made her patients want to live. I was just in Kalamazoo, Michigan, at the Pfizer vaccine manufacturing facility. There I met a man when I walked in whose father-in-law was dying of the virus. He was sad. I asked if I could call his father-in-law. He said his father-in-law was too sick to speak. But then he said, but could I pray for him? Could I pray for him? We all know someone, fellow Americans who live lives of struggle, purpose, and of hope, who talked late into the night about their dreams, who wore the uniform born to serve, who loved, played, and always offered a hand. We often hear people described as ordinary Americans. There's no such thing. There's nothing ordinary about them. The people we lost were extraordinary. They spanned generations. Born in America, immigrated to America. But just like that, so many of them took their final breath alone in America. As a nation, We can't accept such a cruel fate. While we've been fighting this pandemic for so long, we have to resist becoming numb to the sorrow. We have to resist viewing each life as a statistic or a blur or on the news. We must do so to honor the dead, but equally important, care for the living, those who left behind. For the loved ones left behind, I know all too well. I know what it's like to not be there when it happens. I know what it's like when you are there, holding their hands. There's a look in your eye and they slip away. That black hole in your chest, you feel like you're being sucked into it. The survivor's remorse, the anger, the questions of faith in your soul. For some of you, it's been a year, a month, a week, a day, even an hour. And I know that when you stare at that empty chair around the kitchen table, it brings it all back, no matter how long ago it happened, as if it just happened that moment you look at that empty chair. The birthdays, the anniversaries, the holidays without them, and the everyday things, the small things, the tiny things that you miss the most. That scent when you open the closet, that park you go by that you used to stroll in, that movie theater where you met, the morning coffee you shared together, the bend in his smile, the perfect pitch to her laugh. I received a letter from a daughter whose father died of COVID-19 on Easter Sunday last year. She and her children, his grandchildren, enter Lent this season, a season of reflection and renewal, with heavy hearts. Unable to properly mourn, she asked me in the letter, what was our loss among so many others? Well, that's what has been so cruel. So many of the rituals that help us cope, that help us honor those we loved, haven't been available to us. The final rites with family gathered around, the proper homegoing, showered with stories and love, tribal leaders passing out the final traditions of sacred cultures on sacred lands. As a nation, we cannot and we must not let this go on. That's why the day before my inauguration, at the COVID-19 memorial, at the reflecting pool on the National Mall, I said, to heal, we must remember. I know it's hard. I promise you, I know it's hard. I remember. But that's how you heal. You have to remember. And it's also important to do that as a nation. For those who have lost loved ones, this is what I know. They're never truly gone. They'll always be part of your heart. I know this as well, and it seems unbelievable, but I promise you, the day will come when the memory of the loved one you lost will bring a smile to your lips before a tear to your eye. It will come, I promise you. My prayer for you, though, is that day will come sooner rather than later. And that's when you know you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And for me, the way through sorrow and grief is to find purpose. I don't know how many of you have lost someone a while ago wondering, is he or she proud of me now? Is this what they want me to do? I know, that's how I feel. And we can find purpose worthy of the lives they lived and worthy of the country we love. So today, I ask all Americans to remember. Remember those we lost and those who left behind. But as we all remember, I also ask us to act, to remain vigilant, to stay socially distanced, to mask up, get vaccinated when it's your turn. We must end the politics and misinformation that's divided families, communities, and the country. And it's cost too many lives already. It's not Democrats and Republicans who are dying from the virus. It's our fellow Americans. It's our neighbors, our friends, our mothers, our fathers, our sons, our daughters, husbands, wives. We have to fight this together as one people, as the United States of America. That's the only way we're going to beat this virus, I promise you. The only way to spare more pain and more loss, the only way. These millstones no longer mark our national mourning. These milestones, I should say, no longer mark our national mourning. Let this not be a story of how far we fell, but of how far we climb back up. We can do this. For in this year of profound loss, we've seen profound courage from all of you on the front lines. I know the stress, the trauma, the grief you carry, but you give us hope. You keep us going. You remind us that we do take care of our own, that we leave nobody behind, and that while we've been humbled, we have never given up. We are America. We can and will do this. In just a few minutes, Jill and I, Kamala and Doug, will hold a moment of silence here in the White House, the people's house, your house. We ask you to join us, to remember so we can heal, to find purpose in the work ahead, to show that there is light in the darkness. This nation will smile again. This nation will know sunny days again. This nation will know joy again. And as we do, we'll remember each person we've lost, the lives they lived, the loved ones they left behind. We will get through this, I promise you. But my heart aches for you, those of you who are going through it right now. May God bless you all, particularly those who've lost someone. God bless you.
I can't think of a better person to be the President of the United States at this point in our history than Joe Biden, a man who has lost so much. And you can tell he feels it. He means it. I see that as I've been watching the chat room here, several of you have lost loved ones. A mother, an aunt, a brother to COVID-19 this year and last. I call it a year. And I'm sorry that has happened to you. Far, far too much death in this country this year. Too much death in any year, but so much of this feels like it could have been prevented. There's nothing really to say about it except that it's horrible. Give me a moment here. I have a friend who I haven't spoken to in about 3 years, and he asked me to email him the link to the live stream. I spelled his name wrong. He changed his family name back to the original Italian, and I put the new name. So hold on a second here. He just texted me something, so let me just he might jump into the chat room any moment now. Let me compose this to him. Give me a moment, please. So we will take just a moment here when I sent that off. Okay, it's been sent to him. See what he comes into the chat room as. I don't want to give his name away if he's got a different name on the YouTube. He's been looking for me. I changed my phone number a number of years ago. And he's been looking for me. Now, his brother is one of my bestest friends in the whole world. And he only now figured out, I should just call Chris and find out. Everyone I know is named Chris, incidentally, in case you're wondering. I should find out what Kevin's number is. And then he just called me right before I was ready to stream. And streaming took a couple of minutes. So I hope everyone had a good weekend. Despite the fact that we've lost 500,000 people. By the way, you can see the number to the right of me, 512. That is a different metric that we've been using on the show. According to that number, it's now at 512,000. President Biden is going by the Johns Hopkins University number that just passed 500,000. I think he said 517 or something like that. That's why there's a discrepancy in the numbers. That number will eventually catch up to the number that we use from Worldometers. Babe has had some loss. The judges are observing a moment of silence all day today. You'll notice that when David Mickelson came into the room, they didn't even give him his compulsory ding, which is part of a contract deal, and they just reworked it. Dave Mickelson will be getting first dings from the bell until, is it 2038, David? Something like that. Whenever Bobby Bonilla? I can't even remember now. There's some baseball player who keeps getting $1 million every few months. And every time he does, David with Snopes, he sends me a link to, this guy hasn't played. It was a player for the Mets. It was Bobby Bonilla, right? He reworked his contract so he gets paid pretty much in perpetuity till 2038 or something ridiculous. So, right, there was at one point he was making more than all Major League Baseball players combined last year because they weren't playing. It's pretty funny. But he got his check. Liberté said, Kevin, do you remember when I spoke with you on Periscope on that day that 6 of my patients died? Oh, hey, Libby. I didn't realize Liberté and Libby are the same. Sure, Libby. Yeah, no, I remember that. I cannot begin to fathom that. I have been very blessed. My parents are both due to be vaccinated. The second vaccine, they've already had the first vaccine in just a couple of days. My father was in the hospital over the weekend with a kidney problem. By the way, if you have a choice, don't get a kidney stone. And don't, like my dad, have multiple kidney stones. And I really hope it's not a hereditary thing, because when the doctor explained what they did to him last year, Basically, they went in there with a scope and just blasted all these kidney stones, so they were much, much smaller kidney stones. So instead of having dozens, he has hundreds, but they're much smaller and easier to pass. He said it's pretty much like playing asteroids. He just gets in there with a scope and lasers all these kidney stones. So don't do that. It sent the kidney stone sent my dad to the hospital over the weekend. He's out now. He's fine. They put a stent in there in his kidney. His kidney appears to be functional again. From the ladies that I've talked to who've had kids and kidney stones, that's what it's comparable to. And guys, just don't. Like, I don't know what it's comparable to. The biggest one he had was 7 millimeters, which is about like that. If I put it close to the camera, it looks a lot bigger. So almost a centimeter. There's 2.2 centimeters to an inch. So there's your inch. And then that's about 7 millimeters. So welcome aboard, Munchie, if you found the chat room. If you're just joining us, I am Kevin Williams, your Heavenly Father. We just watched Joe Biden. I thought he was going to call for a moment of silence on screen. I guess after the speech, they went back inside the White House, although that's inside but you know what I'm saying, where he and Dr. Biden, Joe Biden, observed the moment of silence. Let's move on, kids. I don't know. I think the candle lighting part of the ceremony was earlier. I can go and look for that if you guys want me to look for that. I don't know if it's now or later.
I receive a small card.
Sorry.
In my pocket.
Biden's talking again. Let's just go back before we go on to the hearings. Let me see if there's something. Okay, so shall we watch the moment of silence? Does anybody want to see the moment of silence? It's going to be silent. We can watch that. There was a Scottish decision earlier about Trump's taxes. Basically, the decision was we're not going to hear it. So the lower court hearing stands, and so that the courts in New York, or I should say the attorneys in New York, now get to have a good look at Trump's taxes. Mazar, his former accountants, they have to release the records. Trump's attorneys had put an order on them not to release the records. He's now lost all along the way, but it's taken all this time, and now he's out of office. So the crux of it is, if Michael Cohen is correct, he overinflated his net worth when he was going for bank loans, and he underinflated it when he was going for paying his taxes, which is both tax fraud and bank fraud, and he will pay the price. By the way, he knows he's in trouble. Still, I just checked over the weekend. He has not filed Form 2 with the FEC. He is not, at this point, running for president in 2024. So it looks like there's a candle lighting ceremony of some kind. Let's watch that. We'll just, it's only 3 minutes long. There are some candles. Contrast this to Trump walking up those stairs after getting off the helicopter after being in Walter Reed Medical Center with COVID, walking up those stairs, taking off his mask, turning around and filming a promotional video for his campaign. Contrast that. Here is President Biden at the Portico. I'm gonna go away for this. There are the Marines. So that was the President and Vice President of the United States and their spouses. Let's move on. This is Merrick Garland. Hi Jennifer. Hi Cindy. Steph, how are you doing? I've heard you've lost a lot of weight. Speaking of losing weight, we'll talk about that after the credits. We'll do a post-credit segment today, if we get there, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I got some. I made my cardiologist very happy today, so that's good news. Eve, good to see you. Everybody else in the chat room. Let me do a quick chat. I put my phone on silence for that, so let me make sure nothing has come. Okay. This is Chuck Grassley. And let's see. This is the Attorney General confirmation. So Chuck Grassley would probably be the ranking member on this, Dick Durbin being the majority leader on this, now that the Democrats have a majority. What am I drinking? This is iced tea. I believe this is just a mint iced tea. Feel free to drink up. It's not a Long Island iced tea. Hey, Stephanie might get out of the hospital tomorrow. That's fantastic news. Stephanie does not have COVID, to our knowledge. Stephanie just has watched this programming, the live stream, so many times that it put her in the hospital, and we apologize for that. And good to see you if I haven't said that. Cooj, I don't know if I say goodbye to you or hello to you or whatever. Hello, goodbye, aloha. Aloha, Cooj. Aloha, Marcy. Aloha, everybody else in Hawaii. Hey, Rick M. Hey, Duchamps. Rook. Champs Rook. Here we go.
Judge Garland, glad that
There's a buzz on this, but it's the audio feed.
you've been.
Hey, Yoshi. Let me pull up that other chat window as well. This is a rather subdued live stream, and I think that's appropriate. It's not the live stream. This is just the live stream. This is Facts and Friends, but we're not really going to fact check that. We might fact check this. I don't know what Grassley says here. There's a couple of other... Who's on the Judicial Committee? Let's see. Cruz is on it. Graham is on it. They both probably say terrible things. I've had a fairly busy day, so I haven't had a chance to watch any of this while it was happening. I thought I'd jump in here and take a look-see at this with you guys. And we might take a look at yesterday's Facts and Friends, or Fox and Friends, or whatever the Maria Bartiromo does. Sunday morning features. I don't even know what it is. I don't even know her name. Let's see what Chuck Grassley here has to say.
Been honored with this appointment to be Attorney General of the United States. Welcome the public at large, most of them very remote.
For those of you who don't remember, Merrick Garland was President Obama's nominee to the Supreme Court when there was a Supreme Court vacancy after Justice Scalia died. Being the majority leader of the Senate, Mitch McConnell held that seat open for 11 months. And the Democrats were upset, but they didn't really do anything about it. Now that the Democrats are in power, Merrick Garland doesn't get to be a Supreme Court justice because there's no vacancy. They are going to nominate him or he has been nominated for Attorney General.
Not the large crowds we normally have when we have an Attorney General nominee before this committee. I have a longer statement that I'll put in the record, and I've still got plenty to say even this morning. I, of course, congratulate Senator Durbin on his new role as chairman. He is already referred to he and I getting acquainted on the Administrative Oversight Subcommittee and working on what now is
this is
badly.
Okay, so C-SPAN just randomly pauses from time to time. That's not me. So if it pauses and I don't say anything, that's C-SPAN, not me.
Needed law when agriculture is in bad shape by passing Chapter 12 agricultural bankruptcy legislation. and I look forward to working with you in the future here. And I also want to express my admiration for Senator Feinstein, the previous Democrat leader of this committee. She and I have worked closely together during the years that I chaired, and she
Yeah. Let's get to the
was
actual
ranking
questions.
member. Of course, Judge Garland Scalia, my Republican colleagues, and I decided not to hold a hearing on his nomination. In other words, meaning Judge Garland's nomination to the Supreme Court, having been nominated by President Obama. As you recall, it was an election year with a divided Congress. The position I took was consistent with previously publicly expressed positions by other senators and Democratic senators
Sorry, guys, this is just C-SPAN.
previous to that. So yes, it's true that I didn't give Judge Garland a hearing. I also didn't mischaracterize his record. I didn't attack his character. I didn't go through his high school yearbook. I didn't make his wife leave the hearing in tears. I took a position on.
You know what, though? Totally would have been better if you did that. Because at least then he would have gotten a fucking hearing. Nobody had the opportunity to do that because of what you thought would be a good idea. Holding a Supreme Court vacancy for almost a year.
Hearings, and I stuck to it, and that's it. I admire Judge Garland's public service.
Okay, C-SPAN also broadcast this on, looks like they broadcast it on YouTube. So if we watch it there, theoretically, it won't have, no, they didn't broadcast the whole thing. Really? Come on, C-SPAN. All they did was broadcast his opening statement. We'll skip that. There's nothing new. I mean, I haven't even listened to it, but there's never anything new in an opening statement for a nominee.
Just because I disagreed.
Hey, there's my friend Andrew Foti, F-O-T-I. Munchie, I sent you, his nickname's Munchie, guys, so you can call him Munchie, you can call him Andrew. Munchie, I sent you a link, but I sent it to F-O-T-E instead of F-O-T-I because I'm so used to that. I knew Andrew back when he was just a Fote, F-O-T-E. Now he's a Foti, back to the original Italian of his ancestors.
With anyone being
Either that or he married somebody, Foti. I don't know.
nominated didn't mean that I had to be disagreeable.
Munchie, we're just watching the hearing. This is Chuck Grassley questioning Merrick Garland, who has been nominated for Attorney General by President Joe Biden.
To that nominee. Unfortunately, that's not always the way it works in this town that has great political division. Judge Garland is here, and we're here to talk about his nomination to be Attorney General.
This is one of the Republicans who decrying Joe Biden for not being more bipartisan. And it was only the Republicans that didn't want Merrick Garland to be on the Supreme Court or even get a hearing. Even a hearing. So now they want unity. But 4 years ago, remember, before Trump, they held that Supreme Court position open for 11 months.
And I extend a warm welcome to you, Judge Garland, and to your family and friends that are probably very honored because of your nomination.
Right, but you're 5 years too late. Go ahead.
This, of course, is a worthy capstone on a storied career that you have had. Judge Garland
PayPal pausing it.
is a good pick to lead the
C-SPAN.
Department of Justice. He has decades of experience as one of the most respected appellate judges in the country.
Hold on, the judge has got to give Chuck one for that. There we go.
And before that, being a great prosecutor. When the domestic terrorist Timothy McVeigh was executed for his crimes, we had Merrick Garland to thank for that successful prosecution. No one doubts that Judge Garland is qualified for his job. But of course, Attorney General is more than just qualifications. The top law enforcement officer of the United States must be committed to enforcing the rule of law.
Yeah.
As our former colleague and former Attorney General John Ashcroft likes to say, the Department of Justice is the only cabinet agency whose name is an ideal. It's not the Department of Law Enforcement, but the Department of Justice. Justice.
All right. And the Department of Defense used to be the Department of War.
Equality under the law. There's one law for all Americans, regardless of race, color, creed, or connection. Is Judge Garland up to that task? I think he is, but today our goal is to ask him questions to find out.
All right, get
The
to it.
Department of Justice has taken important steps to live up to these ideals expressed by
This is just an opening statement. We're going to skip ahead a little bit until he gets to actual questions.
years. In the rule of law, in particular under you, Judge Garland. What I don't want is a return to the Obama years. I don't want an attorney general who bragged about being a wingman, and those are his words, to the president. That was Eric Holder, notoriously describing himself. I don't want a Justice Department that abuses the FISA process to spy on American citizens. I don't want consent decrees that federalize law enforcement and cause murder rates to soar. I don't want a return to catch and release on the border. I could come up with many other examples. Unfortunately, a lot of what we've seen so far from the Justice Department is discouraging. They have whiplashed, inducing changes to litigation positions. They're going through rescinding excellent
since,
rule of law
Be
memorandum.
quiet. Since Andrew's in here, if there's anybody else new joining us, make sure if you're on YouTube to subscribe to this channel, and you can set it to get alerts. You just hit the little bell. And Andrew, if you can't figure that out, just ask one of your kids. They'll tell you how to do it. I'm going to talk to Andrew. Called me right before this broadcast today. I wanted to get this underway. And so we'll talk later, and we'll find out all about what's going on with Andrew's family. Well, you guys won't, but I will. And that's the important part.
Right out of the gate. President Biden is even reportedly firing nearly every Senate-confirmed U.S. attorney, regardless of what investigations.
I don't want a Department of Justice that attacks the woman who sues my president because he raped her. That's what I don't want. Just one of the small. I don't want a Justice Department that fires the district attorneys investigating my personal lawyer. I don't want that. Those are just a couple of the things I don't want from a Department of Justice.
They're supervising. That is troubling. That is why I am especially concerned about the Durham investigation. Starting January 2017, I began an investigation on how the Justice Department and the FBI handled Crossfire Hurricane.
Yeah.
Its investigation into the Trump campaign and administration. Simply said, Crossfire Hurricane is a textbook example of what shouldn't happen during investigations. What the Obama administration did to the Trump campaign, transition, and administration can't ever happen again.
Well,
If confirmed,
no.
you'll have oversight of special.
No, that's exactly what the FBI is supposed to do. Remember, the only thing that's ever been found to be untoward in the entire investigation was Kevin Kleinsmith, an attorney at the Department of Justice, at the FBI, who neglected to put into the Pfizer application that Carter Page was actually working with the FBI. Omitted 3 words from an email, and that got the... And probably without that, there wouldn't be a case for a FISA application. So the judge granted, 4 judges granted the FISA application because it expires. You have to petition for it again. That happened 4 times because of Kevin Kleinsmith. Kevin Kleinsmith has pled guilty. He was guilty. He's the one. But there was nothing else. And here's the important part. The FISA application was to investigate Carter Page. This was in October that the first FISA campaign, or the FISA warrant was issued on Carter Page. In September, Carter Page was fired by the Trump campaign. Carter Page wasn't with the Trump campaign. But the Trump campaign, people, oh yeah, well, the double skip. They get to listen to his phone calls, and therefore they get to listen to Trump's phone. No. Trump campaign was already under investigation from back in the summer because of Crossfire Hurricane, because George Papadopoulos bragged to an Australian diplomat that they had hurt dirt on Hillary Clinton and they were working with the Russians. So that's why Trump was investigated. All of what Grassley's saying is nonsense. That's exactly what the Department of Justice should do so that we don't end up with a Manchurian candidate.
Consul Durham's review of Crossfire Hurricane. When Bill Barr appeared before the committee for his nomination hearing, he said, quote, "It's vitally important that the special counsel be allowed to complete his investigation," end of quote.
And by the way, Grassley's not on the Senate Intel Committee, so he was not part of the investigation. But he's been investigating it himself.
Of course, he was referring to then special counsel Mueller's investigation. Today, you'll need to be clear about what your position will be with regard to special counsel Durham. We should expect the same level of commitment from you to protect Durham as we expected from Barr to protect Mueller. So, Judge Garland, I just want to say that I like you, I respect you, and I think you're a good pick for this job.
Okay.
But I have a lot of questions about how you're going to run the Department of Justice. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Grassley. At this time, we'll have a formal introduction of Judge Garland. Two of our colleagues will be doing that. Because of your state of residence, Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland will be first, and because of your roots, Senator Tammy Duckworth, my colleague of Illinois, will be second. Both are joining us by WebEx. There will be a record statement and statement made by Senator Cardin placed in the record. Senator Van Hollen?
Thank you.
Okay, we'll jump ahead here.
On the most important thing, and for which
confidence in his capability.
All right.
It is this.
Thank you. Thank you for that. As I told you, the President nominates the Attorney General to be the lawyer, not for any individual, but for the people of the United States.
This is Garland's opening statement.
And to impart my
And we'll skip through most of this.
For the Department of not
Well, I beg you to stick with hoping it's followed by a 5-minute second round. Block get you
That's Dick Durbin,
this is one call that we
come so
Democrat.
as chair
Come on.
and on
Jump ahead
as we
here.
possibly,
Let's go past
It's
Dick Durbin.
virtually
Here we go. Let's go to Grassley actually doing
of course,
it.
if I'm, as we possibly,
On what you can.
oversight responsibility.
continuation of Obama separate conduct as a role here.
Sorry, guys, if this is annoying.
That's
It's
on the
annoying to me,
phone.
too. Here we go. Here's
US.
Chuck Grassley asking questions of Merrick Garland. Or maybe not. Go ahead. And C-SPAN has frozen on me.
U.S. judges.
There we go.
Nevertheless, I hope that we can get frank answers from you on your views. And when we talked last on the phone, you told me you would get guidance from the administrative office on what you can or can't say. I assume that you sought that guidance. If so, what did they advise you?
Yes, Senator Grassley, I did, and they advised me just as you and I thought that they would. Canon 3 bars me from commenting on any pending or impending case that is in any court, but I am free to talk about policy with you.
Okay, well, this will save some time.
I'm going to go to the Durham investigation. At Barr's hearing,
WAPO broadcasted on YouTube. Thank you, Jessica. I'll look it up.
he stated the following regard to Mueller's investigation, quote, "It's virtually important that the special counsel be allowed to complete his investigation." Also at that same hearing, Senator Feinstein asked, quote, "Will you commit to providing Mr. Mueller with the resources, funds, and time needed to complete his investigation," end of quote. Attorney General Barr answered Senator Feinstein with a one-word yes. With respect to Special Counsel Durham's investigation, I expect that
Hold on, I've got a better
he will
feed
be
here.
allowed to complete his
We might as well jump in here, and I'll bring the feed right over. There we go. This is.
investigation.
Oh wow, good
At
timing.
Barr's hearing.
Let me pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. Dance, dance, and take your headphones out for a second, just in case this. I'm gonna turn the volume down, so you don't even have to do that. Keep your headphones in. I'm gonna pump it up. Here we go.
He stated the following regard to Mueller's investigation, quote, "It's virtually important that the special counsel be allowed to complete his investigation." Also at that same hearing, Senator Feinstein asked, quote, "Will you commit to providing Mr. Mueller with the resources, funds, and time needed to complete his investigation?" End of quote. Attorney General Barr answered Senator Feinstein with a one-word yes. With respect to Special Counsel Durham's investigation, I expect that he will be allowed to complete his investigation. If confirmed, will you commit to providing Special Counsel Durham with the staff, resources, funds, and time needed to thoroughly complete the investigation?
So, Senator, I don't have any information about the investigation. As I sit here today, and another one of the very first things I'm going to have to do is speak with Mr. Durham to figure out how his investigation is going. I understand that he has been permitted to remain in his position, and sitting here today, I have no reason to think that that was not the correct decision.
For those of you just catching up, Durham is a prosecuting attorney who is investigating as special counsel what's called Spygate by the right wing. So he's looking into the multiple witch hunts on President Trump and their origins. Crossfire Hurricane, the Mueller investigation, etc. So he's investigating the investigators. We were told by the Republicans, just you wait. Because before the election, Durham was going to come out and take everything down, and Obama was going to jail, and Hillary Clinton will finally been locked up, and everything would be great, and Trump would sweep the election, and it would be another glorious four years of President Trump. That didn't happen. I keep waiting for any of the just you waits to happen. They never happen. Obama is still a free man.
Okay, and I suppose that would be an answer that he would only be removed for cause then? Would that be your position?
Well, Senator, I really do have to have an opportunity to talk with him. I have not had that opportunity.
Sorry, guys, the volume for this is all over the place. That's not me. That's the...
As I said, I don't have any reason, from what I know now, which is really very little, to make any determination on that ground, but I don't have any reason to think...
Munchie, if you're still watching, as you can see from the chat room over there, they just talk amongst themselves. No one's really paying attention to what's happening right now. They tune in every once in a while, make a comment. They just want to get the bell rung from the judges. They feel good about getting a bell ring. Judges agree.
That he should not remain in place.
Okay. If confirmed, would you commit to publicly releasing Special Counsel Durham's report just like Mueller report was made public?
So, Senator, I am a great believer in transparency. I would, though, have to talk with Mr. Durham and understand the nature of what he's been doing and the nature of the report. But I am very much committed to transparency and to explaining Justice Department decision-making.
At this point, I'm not going to take exception to the answers you gave me about Durham because I think you're an honorable person.
Because you can't. There's nothing to take exception to. Or will you commit to keeping Durham in his current position? Well, I mean, I don't know anything about it, so I really have to talk to him. Well, then I won't take exception to this right now, but you watch your back, young man.
They're not quite as explicit as I hope they would be, like we got from Barr for the Mueller.
Because Barr knew exactly what was going on with the Mueller investigation. Everyone did.
investigation, but I think you've come close to satisfying me, but maybe not entirely. We're in the midst of a polydrug crisis.
Said every woman that Trump has ever slept with.
In addition to opioids, methamphetamine, and cocaine, fentanyl and fentanyl analogs are plaguing our country. Increasingly sophisticated drug trafficking organizations internationally try to skirt the law by changing their molecular structure. So the Center for Disease Control has found that drug overdose deaths rose their highest level ever measured during the pandemic, with the overall jump in deaths being driven most substantially by drugs like fentanyl. We must stop this fentanyl substance from entering our neighborhoods and killing thousands of Americans. So my question is, as you lead the Justice Department, having oversight over the Drug Enforcement Administration within that department, and they will be addressing the spread of fentanyl analogs and related substances by
Fentanyl? It's fentanyl. Trump always called it fentanyl, which it's not. It's fentanyl, but he's calling it fentanyl. He's calling it fentanyl, which that reminds me of something else too. Fentanyl, I don't know what though. Something to do with Disney.
by pushing for continued class-wide prohibition of fentanyl. So I didn't quite make my question clear.
Now I don't even know what he said.
Would you lead the Justice Department in pushing for continued class-wide prohibition of fentanyl dialogues?
Senator, I'm familiar.
Did he just use fentanyl in 3 different ways in the same paragraph? I'm almost impressed.
Here with this problem, one of my roles as the Chief Judge of the D.C. Circuit was to serve on the Pretrial Services Committee on the Committee for the Pretrial Services Agency for the district, and we were constantly advised of the fact that the formula was being slightly changed constantly, and this was a problem both for detection as well as for the problem of enforcement. To be honest, I'm no chemist. This is one of the reasons I ended up being a lawyer instead of a doctor. But I would need to look at what would be proposed. But I do understand the scope of this problem, and I'm in favor of doing something either by scheduling or legislation, if I'm confirmed, that would address the problem that you're talking about, which is an enormous problem for enforcement.
Yeah.
Hi, Random. Hi,
I want to
Producer
go to
Joanna.
the death penalty because we have some people already prosecuted where the death penalty has been advocated or sought, and one of those is the people that were involved in Boston Marathon. So the question, the Justice Department, again under the Obama administration, sought and received an appropriate sentence of death. That sentence is currently being appealed.
So sounds like some of you have already watched this. There's 8 hours of it. Is there anything worth watching here, or should we jump to the Sunday shows and see what happened there? I also want to take a look at Judge Weinbach's. I did hear a little bit of Judge Weinbach's opening statement from Saturday night, and it's pretty hilarious. So we can jump and do that. But I suspected that Grassley, Cruz, and what's his face, Lindsey Graham, all on the Judicial Committee, that they would all have some stupid questions for Judge Merrick Garland. These are all pretty tame so far. So for those of you who watch this, is there something worth watching here, or should we go to Cruz, or should we just jump ahead?
Will you commit to defending these sentences on appeal?
Well, Senator, now we're rubbing up against exactly the problem that you asked me about in the beginning. These are pending cases. And as a sitting judge, the canons bar me from making comment on pending cases.
Yeah, and all of these people, almost all of the people on the Judicial Committee are lawyers. I don't know of one that isn't, but Cruz was awful. Is he worth watching? Okay, we'll jump ahead to Cruz here then. But why they insist on asking questions they know they're not getting an answer to? Why waste the time? I mean, you might as well just fly to Cancun. Here's Cruz right here. Just so schmarmy. He looks healthy, though. He's got a nice glow to himself.
Not object to
Ted
anything
Cruz.
that Congress would want to do in this regard.
Understood. Thank you, Judge. I'm encouraged by the broad bipartisan.
So we'll watch a couple, because Cruz and Graham are going to attack. I don't know. I haven't seen either of them, but that's what I suspect are going to happen here. And then we have a second round of questions as well. So if anybody, go ahead and suggest in the chat room if we need to watch the second round of Cruz and or Lindsey. I don't know whether we need to watch Lindsey or not. Oh, you know what we should do? We should look at Aaron Rupar on Twitter, because if they said something, or ASIN, they'll have put that up there, which then gives us context or whether or not there were anything worth watching. But let's just watch Cruz.
Support you've already garnered from this committee and publicly, and look forward to supporting your confirmation.
Thank you very much, Senator. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator Coons. Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Judge Garland, welcome.
Thank you, Senator.
Congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you.
In 2+ decades on the court, you have built a reputation for integrity and for setting aside partisan interests and following the law. The job to which you have been appointed is a very different job. And as I look back over the 8 years of the Obama-Biden Justice Department, in my view, the most problematic aspect of that tenure was that the Department of Justice was politicized and weaponized in a way that was directly contrary to over a century of tradition of the Department of Justice of being
Under Obama. Under Obama is what he's saying. Not Trump. Under Obama.
apolitical and not a partisan tool to target your opponents. So it is very much my hope, if you're confirmed as Attorney General, that you will bring that reputation for integrity to the Department of Justice and demonstrate a willingness to stand up for what will be inevitable political pressure to once again politicize the Department of Justice and use it as a tool.
Still not a question. Not a question, Ted. David, if you've seen this, then should we continue watching Cruz, or should we just jump to something more interesting?
To attack the political opponents of the current administration. Eric Holder, before he was nominated as Attorney General, had likewise built a reputation as being relatively nonpartisan and a prosecutor with integrity. And unfortunately, his tenure as Attorney General did enormous damage to that reputation.
It did not.
As was previously discussed, Eric Holder described his role as Attorney General as being the wingman for President Obama. Am I right in assuming you do not view your role as Attorney General as being Joe Biden's wingman?
Yeah, Senator, as I said, I don't want to comment on any individual's conduct as any of my predecessors or FBI directors' conduct in any way. But I can assure you I do not regard myself as anything other than the lawyer for the people of the United States. And I am not the president's lawyer. I am the United States lawyer. And I will do everything in my power, which I believe is considerable, to fend off any effort by anyone to make prosecutions
We'll watch Cory Booker here in a second. I just want to go with Cruz here, see what he dug into.
or investigations partisan or political in any way. My job is to protect the Department of Justice and its employees in going about their job and doing the right thing according to the facts and the law.
Under the Obama administration, the IRS targeted
Okay, yeah, we're going to more on the Obama administration. Okay.
targeted the political opponents of the president. It targeted conservatives for their speech. It targeted pro-Israel groups. It targeted Tea Party groups. It targeted individuals perceived to be on the opposite political side as the administration. Will you commit as Attorney General that you will not allow the Department of Justice to be used to target those who are perceived as political opponents because they are political opponents?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. What the hell?
Not.
Also under the Obama administration, Operation Choke Point was used to pressure lawful organizations, lawful institutions, institutions, for example, that sell firearms,
right,
to constrain their lawful activity and to use regulatory authority to abuse and force them to comply.
Like even the cameraman for C-SPAN is like, I can't take this idiot! Why is he talking about Obama?
With the administration's stated policies. Do you believe it's appropriate for the administration to use regulatory pressure to force lawful behavior to stop?
What does Ted think he's going to say? David's right. This is just grandstanding. Yes, I will make sure that the DOJ uses political pressure whenever possible. Who's gonna say that? Just so dumb. By the way, this is lovely. I'm so happy with this. Let's jump over to Ason's feed. This is YS. This is, oh, come on, go back. Go back. Oh, no. I can find it again. All is not lost, people. This is on Ted Cruz's lawn. Let me find it here because it is absolutely, it gives me great joy. We'll watch Cory Booker as well. But first, this is Ted Cruz's house. They brought Cancun to Ted Cruz's house. That's awesome. I would have donated. Nobody asked me. So that's brilliant. Here's our friend Cory Booker. Ason's comment is, wow, confirm this man. Here we go.
Your own family history in confronting hate and
this is Cory Booker, senator from New Jersey, whose family encountered similar situations to what we're probably going to hear from Merrick Garland.
The question about your motivation and maybe some of your own family history in confronting hate and discrimination in American history.
Yes, Senator. So, I come from a family where my grandparents fled anti-Semitism and persecution. The country took us in, and protected us. And I feel an obligation to the country to pay back. And this is the highest, best use of my own set of skills to pay back. And so I want very much to be the kind of Attorney General that you're saying I could become. And I'll do my best to try to be that kind of Attorney General.
I believe your heart, and I'm grateful that you are living that MICA mandate.
Okay, so yeah, and the right wing will say he's an incredible pussy and he can't beat Attorney General. Gotta be tough to be Attorney General. And the left wing will just cry. I love him. Can I please vote for and or hold Merrick Garland? So we were talking the other day, was talking to somebody out on the street there. You're just your man on the street. Actually, an older lady friend of mine who has now been vaccinated. She's all good, but she's still wearing masks. She's keeping her distance. She's doing the right thing. And she was pointing out, not only have I not gotten COVID, I haven't been sick. She's, I don't know, 75-ish, 80, somewhere in that range. Haven't been sick at all since the coronavirus. Here's the cool thing. The state of Montana, which the previous year had 11,000 reported cases of the flu. which means they had way more cases of the flu because, I don't know, I've had the flu 20, 30 times in my life. I have never reported the flu. I've never been that sick that it actually gets reported to the CDC. Nobody ever knows. I mean, my work, my kids, but hopefully they don't report me. So last year, 11,000 plus reported cases in Montana. This year in Montana, in 2020, during the 2020 flu season in Montana, 0 cases of the flu. Not one. Why do we shake hands, people? We got to stop that. It's not just the social distancing, because, of course, Montana being a red state, they don't necessarily mask all the time, but people are avoiding each other. They're avoiding touching so much. The shaking of the hands not happening quite as much, so they've cut it down from 11,000 to 0 reported cases in Montana, which is fantastic. People die of the flu. A lot of people die of the flu. It's just that we're used to it, and most people don't die of the flu. So it doesn't get the attention that perhaps it deserves. Shaking hands, not a good idea. A hug, a better idea than shaking someone's hand. So after the pandemic is over, go ahead and hug everybody just instead of shaking their hand. Your hands are filthy, filthy things, and then we touch ourselves. Hug, go to the side. Don't do the kissing thing because that's direct contact. Myself, I will simply, when I meet someone new, I will spoon. I will be the big spoon. They will be the big spoon if they're taller. It's not a sexist thing. It has to do with height. If we're the same size, we'll flip a coin and decide who gets to be the big spoon. Honestly, I would love to be the little spoon again. I would. I really would. So if I run into... I was going to mention a tennis guy who's really tall, but nobody would know who I was talking about. Producer Joanne is in the room. So she's a tennis fan. If I run into Djokovic, I will let him be the big spoon. I will be Novak Djokovic's little spoon. That doesn't mean anything. I'm just saying, for the health of the country. Sydney James is laughing at something. I think you guys are having your own conversation in the chat. I'm just saying, Montana, no flu, which is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Hello. My phone's yelling at me here. Oh my God. I just got a notification. There are COVID vaccines available at Cal State University, LA as early as tomorrow. Is that for me? For me? So I'm not old enough yet, but I was just at Cal State LA today filling up with helium. Did it work, guys? I got hydrogen for my car at Cal State LA today, and someone just sent me, who is this? This is producer Joanna, just sent me a message saying that there's COVID vaccines. Producer Joanna, if you're watching, does that mean for me, 51-year-olds, or is that 65 and older, or something like that? So let me know if that's the case, because I will drop this broadcast like a hot brick, and I will sign up. Let us go to, I don't want to go to this. I want to go to Judge Janine, because I watched a little bit of, if someone has a request of something to watch, we'll do that. This is just Monday morning, Kofefe. I know it's Monday afternoon, but somewhere it's Monday morning. And we're just jumping around today. I don't have any specific agenda. It's 5 p.m. Here on the West Coast. Cujo says, I appreciate the stream. This is my only option to connect with anyone. Oh my God, Cujo. I appreciate you being here, and I know everybody appreciates you. Trump will call him crying Merrick Garland, assholes. Here's the thing. Trump put out a statement today. Trump actually issued this long, rambling, as Trump does, statement that some people retweeted on Twitter. Nobody seems to care. He's so irrelevant right now. Oh, also, he'll be speaking at CPAC at some point today. Or not today, later this week. So maybe we'll cover that. Justice with Judge Janine. This opening monologue is just... I watched a little bit of it before I got into the shower the other day.
Sunrise.
I have a little Bluetooth speaker in my shower. It was $15 on Amazon. So well worth it. If anybody needs a Bluetooth speaker, just let me know and I'll post the link. But it works great, and I can listen to things in the shower, and so that's good. And that gives my shampoo and conditioner in one Pert Plus a chance. I'm not being paid by Pert Plus to tell you this, by the way, but I do use a shampoo and conditioner in one because, quite frankly, who has the time, right? But I never give it enough time to work. I shower, blah, blah, blah. This is me literally in the shower. Literally this, just like that. Quickly, get out of there as quickly as possible. I'm just trying to save the planet. I'm not a hero. I just don't want to waste water. But if I have a shower speaker in there, then I'm more inclined to stay in there to give my conditioner a chance to work on my, I don't want to brag, but my flowing locks. Now I've got hair covering my ears. I hate that. Every time I've ever gone for a haircut before coronavirus, I was always like, do you want halfway up, above the ears, please? Now I'm just the shaggy DA. Okay, so, okay, nobody has responded back. I thought producer Joanna sent me the text. Yeah, it was producer Joanna sent me the link. And now, I guess, you know what? I bet she's right now. I bet producer Joanna is signing up for the virus. If you're listening, sign me up too, producer Joanna. Last name Williams. LP says, I like your hair long like that. Well, as long as you like it like that, I'll keep it like that. That's why I've been doing this. Not because I don't want to risk getting a haircut. It's because of you, LP. So, yeah, signing up for the virus, the vaccine. Same thing, really. The vaccine virus. Signing up for the Trump vaccine. I make that mistake all the time. I don't make fun of people who make that mistake because it's such an easy mistake to make. This is Judge Weinbach's. First, I'll show you. I won't even show that to you. But the other day, last week, as I understand it, I didn't watch the show, but she was like 15 minutes late for her show. I guess they were trying to get some coffee into her and sober her up. I don't know. Plagued by Society says your hair does look very nice, Kevin. Thank you, Plagued by Society. The reason I'm not getting it cut is not because of the coronavirus. It's because you like it long. Oh, Lindsay, don't listen to that. It's because of you. What's that for you? We watched Christmas Party or whatever it was. Office Christmas Party together. So if you watched Office Christmas Party once, you'll get that reference. Wait, says LP. No, there's no time to wait. By the way, this dress on this fuchsia on Judge Jeanine Pirro, and what is this? What can you guys see? Yeah, you guys can see that. Why is the chyron? I'm gonna make this go away. There we go. Why does the chyron cut off for Judge Jeanine Pirro? Why? What's going on over at Fox? Last week she was 15 minutes late for her show. This week, the show came in while the makeup person was still dabbing her. If I can look that up on Asen's feed, I will. I don't really care. Here we go.
Let's get right to my open.
What was that? Hold on, I gotta go back here because I want to know what that was.
Fox reports tonight. Thanks.
Hello and welcome.
Oh yeah, her lipstick. That's what's throwing me off here. I was going to say, the magenta dress, it makes the flag almost appear magenta, like there's too much happening here. And then there's this. And I don't like to comment on a lady's appearance. You guys know that. But I think that lipstick really speaks for itself. I don't think I need to say anything right now. It is purple. It's not so much fuchsia. It is, I think that actually is purple.
Welcome to Justice. I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Let's get right to my open.
She usually says opening statement, so she's crunched for time here, I guess. I don't know why we have to get right to her open. Sean Hannity always calls it a very important monologue. Crucial monologue. Let's get right to the open. I'm turning her up in my ears. I really hope that doesn't turn her up in yours.
It has been 1 month since Joe Biden has assumed the role of commander-in-chief. In that 1 month, we've gone from President Trump's policy of America first to Biden's new policy, America last.
Just what? No, that's not.
The end of an empire occurs when the leader of a country decides to make his country last, when he believes his country...
Or it turns out that they should have taken the lead out of the aqueducts. That also is when the end of an empire occurs. But anyway, or when the Huns make it through the Great Wall. There are so many reasons why an empire can end.
Is not so great, and when his actions and policies make clear he intends to make his country last. After a magnificent run of over 200 years with America, the world's #1 superpower, we are left with a leader who believes in globalism, open borders, world equity in vaccines, even before all Americans are vaccinated, and
that is not a thing. Biden has committed to having 300 million vaccines in the United States so that everyone is vaccinated that wants to be vaccinated by, 600 million doses. I should clarify, 300 million total available complete vaccination. Well, you know what I'm saying. Everybody needs 2 vaccines. Or with AstraZeneca, it's going to be 1 vaccine, but that's not approved yet. So anyway, it's nonsense.
Funding for the very lab from which experts believe the Wuhan virus emanated.
No experts believe that. No serious experts believe that it's from a wet market. It's been traced to the wet market. Is it possible it actually came out of that lab and then to the wet market? It is possible, but no experts actually believe that because we don't have any evidence that that's what's happened.
We are watching in real time the takedown of America, attributable to Joe Biden's America Last policy.
Which isn't a thing that exists. Go on.
And unlike the destruction of other countries and empires, this is self-imposed, self-inflicted from within.
Literally everything self-inflicted is from within. That's how it works. Otherwise, the self part, it wouldn't apply. You see how that works? So dumb.
Just as Abraham Lincoln said would be the only way America could fail. Consider the following. Since Joe Biden...
That's not what he said.
...has taken the helm, he has ordered a halt to...
Never said it was the only way. Oh, a house divided. Here we go. But that's just... I'm sorry. That is jarring. That lipstick color is jarring.
Scheduled court-ordered deportations of any illegals who have been convicted of crimes. Biden has literally reopened the southern border, not stopping the rushing caravans, a direct result of Biden's invitations made during his campaign. Just ask any migrant. An average of 3,000.
At random says it's possible, but not man-made from studying it in animals. Yeah, no, it's possible it came out of the lab. But it is not man-made. They know that for sure because they have the entire genetic sequence of the virus. And there's nothing in there indicating that it is a man-made virus. So it probably came from bats. That's what makes sense, biologically speaking. And it spread by some bat blood dripping or someone buying it and eating a bat. That's how these things happen.
Immigrants from Central America cross our border every day. The Obama administration considered...
Whoa, hold on. That wall cannot be climbed, so I'm not sure what those people are doing on top of that wall.
1,000 a day, a crisis.
This footage is like 7 years old. That's San Diego, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful place.
As a result, Border Patrol is forced to implement catch and release. Release as in let them in and then release them into the United States. Biden has nullified President Trump's Remain in Mexico policy, where illegals are held in
There are caravans. That is actually true. There are caravans coming up from Central America.
Mexico while awaiting.
Biden stated in the campaign that he wanted to stop deportations for 100 days. And so a lot of migrants decided, like, this is the time to go. Plus, the farm work right there is suffering. They can't grow crops because of global warming, and there's gangs that are trying to kill them. So the regular stuff is happening too.
Entry into this country. Biden has halted construction of the border wall. So, in addition to national security concerns, border security, humanitarian concerns, ICE enforcement concerns, there is now a huge public health concern. As Americans are told to stay home, most not allowed to go to work, most not allowed in restaurants, teachers not teaching in public schools, illegals are let into this country during a raging pandemic. So, with vaccinations as the new hurdle for Americans to be safe, illegals are being released into our towns, cities, and villages, making clear that Biden not only prioritizes illegals over American citizens, but a daily caravan of 3,000 untested, unvaccinated illegals to compete in a job market, including restaurants. Already, small American border towns are begging Biden to stop allowing the immigrants to rush their cities. But hey, the drug cartels are happy. Consider this. The cancellation of the Keystone XL pipeline, in addition to 11,000 who lost their jobs on day one of the Biden administration, Biden has single-handedly called...
Hold on, guys, because the vaccine peoples, I just put in this website, etc., and it says that I'm eligible. Give me just a second here, see if I can sign up. Let's do this together. This is right now. I just put in. That's my zip code, and see availability. Drive through C. 0 appointments available. How about this day? Nope. Okay, so that's gone. Let's do walk up. I saw walk up available and 0 appointments available. Okay, maybe I got excited about nothing here. So, see availability, March. So it looks like there's 1 day of availability and there's no appointments available. I'm gonna just silence my mic while I weep. Gah! Let's see if producer Joanna comes back into the chat room and if she got an appointment. I hope that she did. You know what she should say? Producer Joanna, wait until producer Joanna comes back in, and then maybe I can convince her of something so that I can get a vaccine too. You know what I do? Because I know her first and last name because I know her family. I should just go and say, my name is producer Joanna. Because they don't check IDs. At least they haven't been with the older folks that I know. They're not asking for IDs or anything, but they also look like they're above 65, so they're all eligible. I don't know why I'm eligible, but hold on. Let me just check and see if there's any other. Let me just put in another zip code around here. See if I can get, because I'll drive. How about this? This is where my old zip code. Oh, this is the same. Okay, drive through C. I'll take drive through C. No appointments available. Because it was drive through D last time. How about walk up? No, I think this is a hoax. But this is the right website. Congratulations. Someone just said they were getting theirs on Friday and then it went away. Jessica, congratulations. Judges say congratulations as well. Let me try one more zip code here. I don't know if this is Alhambra. Sure. Oh, well, this is going to be the same thing. Somebody get me a zip code for Anaheim. I'll just look it up. Hold on. No, Anaheim's in another county. Let's do Santa Monica. Santa Monica zip code 90404. We'll try that. Santa Monica. And it's all going to Cal State LA. So so Cal State LA, there's this, one of the parking lots is turned into just a lot of pylons and people going down all these rows and getting vaccinated. Say availability. So maybe I'll just keep checking back for Monday, February 22nd. No, hold on, go back. Oh, now it's kicked me out altogether. All right. So hopefully, has producer Joanna been in the chat room here for a little while? This is not really germane to anything. I just wanted to get this done as quickly as possible because, as you can see, that's what happens. That vaccine disappointments. When's your vaccine disappointment? I just got my vaccine disappointment for tomorrow. Oh, boy. Okay, so it's fantastic news. This day has just been getting better and better. That was almost the best part of today. We'll talk more after the credits, after we're done doing all this nonsense. And we'll go from there. Let me bring up Judge Janine again. Where were we?
Cause America to be less energy independent, forcing us to go off our natural energy, with the result of gas prices going up already at least 40 cents a gallon so far. In Biden's America Last...
Right, because gas production has plummeted because of the storm. See, most of the gas refineries are not weatherproofed, so that happens every time that there's a big winter storm. It's natural.
Eliminating the pipeline incentivizes Canada to work with China.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Let's go back here.
Consider this.
Yeah.
The cancellation of the Keystone XL pipeline, in addition to 11,000 who lost their jobs on day one of the Biden...
No, those are temporary jobs, construction jobs. There are 35 permanent jobs in the United States associated with the Keystone Pipeline. 35.
Administration, Biden has single-handedly caused America to be less energy independent.
Okay. That is the dumbest thing you can say, because the Keystone Pipeline, the whole purpose of it is to get oil from another country. Canada is another country. You can't say you're being energy independent when you're getting the oil from another country. Canada's a great country, don't get me wrong. Oh, Canada, my home and native land, but it doesn't help us become energy independent. Like, nobody reads this before she says it. Like, nobody could. No one could. Or maybe she just got a yes person. I have no idea.
Forcing us to go off our natural energy, with the result of gas prices going up already at least 40 cents.
Natural energy? You mean like wind and solar and water? Those are all naturally occurring forms of energy.
A gallon so far. In Biden's America Last, eliminating the pipeline incentivizes Canada to work with China to sell crude oil and takes away American jobs when we were virtually energy independent under President Trump. Biden's cockamamie effort to remove us from oil and gas with illusions of a happy America under the Green New Deal brings me to Texas. With millions of Texans without water and heat, we see the vulnerability of windmills, especially when they're frozen. Those windmills were...
That's not a windmill. That's a wind turbine. It's not a windmill. A windmill mills things. It creates mechanical energy, not electricity. It's two different things. The turbine creates electricity. That's a turbine. A windmill does things like it pumps water. The wind creates enough mechanical energy so that the windmill then pumps water out of the dikes or from behind the dikes in Holland. That's something. Or the windmill will mills things, like it'll turn grain into flour. It mills, it creates mechanics. Anyway. Cujo says, we actually send you a lot of electricity, Kevin. My ex works at the power dam, and everything that they collected went to the States. Yeah, Cujo's up in Canada. We do get a lot of energy. We're on the same energy grid. There's multiple energy grids, but there's also water grids between Canada and the United States. Which, by the way, in the last election, Trump classified as open borders.
Supplement to the energy grid. Maybe the energy wizards like AOC would like to come to Texas to give a briefing on the feasibility of green energy in Texas.
Absolutely. You have to winterize your windmills. Plus, you want to avoid them because they give you cancer.
But the problem in Texas is not all about the windmills.
It's got nothing to do with the windmills at all. Not a thing. Wind turbines? Yes, because they weren't winterized. There are wind turbines in Canada. Canada gets a lot colder than the United States, or than almost anywhere in the United States, not Alaska, than Texas. The weather that Texas just went through, while cold, is what Wisconsin calls picnic day. And I'm sorry, you can no longer state that Texas is the greatest state in the nation if the whole place shuts down and citizens die because you can't handle a Tuesday in northern Washington.
About their energy grid, all our grids. For years, I've been talking about the fact that our grids are not sufficiently hardened. Consider this. Biden supports the powerful teachers' unions who are refusing to go back to school.
Okay. We were just talking about energy grids. But teachers' unions, they're the reason that people in Texas are dead?
Parents are left with the job of teaching their children at home, which prevents them from going back to work. And to add insult to injury, they're forced to pay school taxes for the teachers. In Biden's America, public school children are not only lagging behind those in private and Catholic schools, but globally, they will never catch up to their competitors. And all the while, American children suffering from mental health, drug abuse, depression, and suicide. Consider this. Joe Biden says we won't be in the clear.
Is this about energy again? Because I was just considering things to do with energy before you started talking about the teacher unions. Let's see here. I want to pull up the chat there because somebody's talking. Yes, David Mickelson states, we see the vulnerability of Texas when their senator is a scumbag. That is correct.
On COVID until Christmas, and he wants us to double mask.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I can't breathe with one mask. Could Joe?
You can. You really, really can. Otherwise, at this point, you'd be dead. Or you never wear a mask. I'm signing up for the vaccine, not the virus. Allison, I think you're like half an hour behind at this point, if you're just watching that part. Of course, if you are, you're not going to see this part for another half an hour.
Wrong about Christmas? Esteemed Johns Hopkins professor and surgeon doctor Marty Makary says the coronavirus could be mostly gone by April because of the numbers of people already infected, the number of vaccinations. There could be herd immunity, ending the virus's spread.
Yeah.
But in Biden's America, with unending immigration and open border policies, there's a new variable that puts all Americans at risk.
What's that?
Illegals being released without testing or vaccinations. Even worse, there isn't even a plan to vaccinate Border Patrol agents or ICE agents.
Well, yes, there is. Yes, there is. Because they are, how do I say this? People. And based on their age in particular states, they will be eligible for vaccinations at some point. Just like me. Apparently, I'm eligible for a vaccine dose that doesn't exist. But I'm eligible, and I will keep trying. I have been trying since I started. I've been doing it on the other monitor right here. Screw you guys. I want my vaccine.
Consider this.
We've more to consider. Yeah.
Obama danced with the devil in Iran when he sent $400 million on pallets and unmarked planes to his pen pal, the Ayatollah.
Why would we want to mark the planes flying into Iran? Why would we do that? U.S. cash! What would be the point of that? Maybe unmarked bills is what she's trying to say, but unmarked planes? I don't know why that makes it bad. By the way, that was Iran's money. Not our money. We were giving them their money back before the World Court decided that we owed them far more than that in interest for the money that they gave us for weapons back at the end of the 70s. we weren't going to give them those weapons because, you know, it was the Shah who bought them, and the Shah was then kicked out of office there by the Ayatollahs. And we don't want to give the Ayatollahs weapons. That would be Ayatollahs weapons because they weren't our friends. Unless you're President Reagan, then you're happy to sell them surface-to-air missiles so that the Iran-Contras could be helped out because, as we know, everything is great in Guatemala. Thanks to Ronald Reagan, history really looked favorably on that particular skirmish. It didn't.
And had a hand on freezing $150 billion meant for the people of Iran in 2015, which supposedly went to funding Iran's terrorist activities. Iranians...
Not all of that $150 billion went to terrorist activities. Otherwise, we'd all be dead right now. What is happening? I don't. So my little ad there up in the corner for Cash App. If you don't have Cash App already, you can give me $20 without giving up anything on your own. Here's how you do it. Get the Cash App by using that link, that LMNN, and I'll leave that up there. Get the Cash App. Send me $5. String Kevin Lee Father or $ Kevin Lee Father. It's right there. Use the code to sign up. It's way up there. Then give me $5. Okay. Then I'll get a $15 referral fee, and you will get your $5 back. So you've given up nothing, and I've gotten $20. That's to help support this broadcast, etc. If you've been reading the crawl, I've been demonetized on YouTube because I'm harmful. What I'm doing right now, this is very harmful. Do you suppose people cancel their vaccines appointment? Is it worth me refreshing the vaccine thing every couple of minutes? Do you think an appointment is going to open up? Is that a thing that happens? Does anybody know anything right now? LP got vaccinated. LP says, I'm vaccinated. I gotta say, my life isn't really going to change until everybody gets vaccinated. Right, LP. So it behooves you to get me vaccinated as well. So everybody get on that site and sign me up. Maybe I'll check in later. I don't know. If it does happen, I'll let you guys know. I haven't seen anybody in here who lives in this area except producer Joanna, and she told me about it, and now she's disappeared. I imagine right now that producer Joanna is feverishly working at her house, just tickety, trying to sign up over and over again to the vaccine. Which I would be doing if I wasn't sharing my experiences with the good people watching this right now. And that's how important to you. I'm willing to risk my life for you people. So the least you can do is download the Cash App and send me $5, which you'll get back, which costs you nothing. Meanwhile, I'm putting my life at risk. I don't, you guys know this, I don't like to use the word hero. Thank you, judges.
American.
The website that producer Joanna just sent me, it says that I'm eligible, but there's no appointments.
Forces in Erbil 5 days ago. 5 days ago.
What?
And Biden thinks these people are reliable, and he wants to return to diplomacy with Iran.
Yeah?
By capitulating and re-entering the Iran deal, Biden will deal from a position of weakness.
Oh.
By giving up the sanctions, we totally lose our leverage, especially since the Iranian economy is now in shreds. This clearly jeopardizes the work that President Trump did on Middle East peace agreements with Israel. The days of appeasement, folks, are back.
Yay!
And
is that bad?
consider equality. To all the young girls out there who got up before sunrise to practice their sport, and all the parents who drove them to practice, supported, and encouraged them, Joe Biden, in one fell swoop, has managed to take away every girl's dream of excelling in her chosen sport.
I was trying to sign up for the vaccine, but I'll just read you this headline behind the PayPal here. Joe Biden's first day began the end of girls' sports. Oh, okay, because he's saying you can't discriminate people based on them being transgender. All right. Well, that's it, girls. Sorry, you can't compete anymore. There's going to be so many young boys who decide that they're actually girls and compete in your sport that there'll be no room for you at all. That'll be that. To all those, I'm going to say hundreds of thousands of women on the planet that are better tennis players than I am, your days are numbered. Yeah, myturn.ca.gov. Yeah, that's what I'm on right now, and it says that I'm eligible. And there's vaccines available at Cal State LA tomorrow, but there are no appointments available. There are 0 appointments available. So that's what I checked out. And it's possible that that people have beat me to the punch. Christopher Wine, you need my email in order to refer me? Really? That's a thing? Okay, well, it's your Heavenly Father at gmail.com. Your Heavenly Father at gmail.com. At Random says, also, who says girls can't beat boys? For the most part, boys are better athletes than girls. But once you get into a sport, for example, if it's just running, at some point, the boys will have a biological advantage. But if it's a sport that involves skill, like I just point out, tennis, there are so many women that are so much better than I am, even though I've been playing almost a year. This is true, by the way. I've never lost a tennis match. And I used to play organized tennis. I played one match of doubles, and then coronavirus hits. That's it. That's my entire USTA tennis experience. But I won that doubles match, mostly, I think, because of my partner. But I'm undefeated. I've never lost a match. You watch when the computer comes back, when everything starts up again with the United States Tennis Association, everybody's ranked. Because I'm 100%, I'm going to jump from like whatever I am to something bigger. I don't know the rankings. But now I'm not going to be able to play people in my ability level because I'm undefeated. And I don't think that's fair. Computer's going to say, well, this guy hasn't lost a match in a year. In fact, he's never lost. I'm going to be out there with Djokovic. And when I see Djokovic, I'll be like, well, I'm vaccinated, so let's spoon. And I'll get it ready. And then what I'll do is I'll do the thing where you take their hand and you wrap it in your, and then you hug it. But I won't do that because we're not shaking hands. That's the point. That was a test. And for those of you that pictured me wrapping my fingers up with Novak vacuum Djokovic, that was a test. You failed. If you envision that, that's not what's going to happen. I will spoon with him, but I will keep my hands to myself. And so will he, unless he buys me dinner.
Allowing boys who identify as girls, who are biologically stronger than girls, to compete in...
This is the end of America!
Girls' sport.
Remember now, there are many states in which trans male can use whatever bathroom they feel like using, and America is still here. Amazing, isn't it? The sky did not fall. I haven't heard of a single case of a trans woman walking into the restroom and raping a kid. Not a single one. And yet, that has been the way it is in many states for now several years. Somehow, the kids are just not getting raped. The right wing must be so disappointed that there's a lack of child rape in restrooms. Cujo said, trans is something that someone who isn't cannot comprehend. I have dated a trans woman, and I understand now. Good for you. Good for trans. I just want everyone to be happy. Be happy with who you are, whatever that may be. I don't care. And if two consenting adults want to make each other happy, God bless you. We spend so much of this life trying to find happiness. If you can get a hold of it for a fleeting second, hold on to that bastard. You do you. Or you do somebody else if they consent.
Biden has single-handedly destroyed the...
Not vacuum Djokovic. His hands are sweaty because he's a great tennis player. I shouldn't say anything more about that, just in case somebody hasn't seen the Australian Open.
Sports dreams of a whole generation of young girls. And all his puffery about women and glass ceilings is countermanded by his executive order that
Countermanded? Does she know what countermanded means? Is there a definition of countermanded with which I'm not familiar? Countermanded. Yeah. An order to arrest the strike leaders who have been Oh, no, that's an example. Okay. Okay. Well, it's a verb. I know that, right? They've been countermanded. Give me the definition, please. Stupid Google. Okay. Yeah, to revoke an order. Right. Okay, so did I miss what she was trying to say here?
Races. Biden has single-handedly destroyed the sports dreams of a whole generation of young girls. And all his puffery about women and glass ceilings is countermanded by his executive order.
Now, she's a judge. How can she not know what countermanded means? She was a judge. I don't know if she's always a judge once you're a judge. I don't know if she was impeached. She should be if she wasn't. I don't know if she was voted out of office. I don't know. I don't know her history. I don't care. But that's not what countermanded means. So the dreams were countermanded. Maybe she's speaking metaphorically. I don't know. I just know that if you're choosing that lipstick, you're not making good decisions.
That erases young girls' sports by putting your daughters in the basement. Forget glass ceilings. Hey, Joe, your identity politics are ridiculous. What's fair about admitting biologically male athletes to girls' teams? So in 30 days, the radical...
Why not stop? Why stop there? Why not say that anybody who's tall doesn't get to play on the girls' teams? How about that? What about tall women? What about women who are very, very skilled? Let's not let them win medals anymore, or let's not have any competition whatsoever, because otherwise the girls who may not win if a transgendered female is in that, forgive me if I'm getting any terminology wrong here because I just don't know, but if there's a transgender female competes with the girls and the girls don't win and they come in fifth, why not take out the other three women ahead of them? Girls, excuse me. Why not take out the other three girls ahead of them so that the person in fifth wins every time? Make it fair for that person in fifth or 100th. Why not? Why not? I think you do have to allow taller girls into the competition so that the shorter girls have somebody with whom they can spoon. Otherwise, we're going to go right back to shaking hands and high fives, and everyone's going to get the flu. All of this will be countermanded.
The left agenda of Joe Biden's America last.
I noticed that at random. Again, they've been sent back to the basement. Right-wingers are the kind of people who are scared of basements. It's always about the basements.
Has taken hold. It's not clear whether Joe understands what he's done, but Americans do, whether it's job security, reliable energy, open classrooms, dealing with a
open classrooms.
Terrorist country committed to destroying us, opening our
By the way, I was vaccinating at the time she said this, but she did say something about the asylum speaks. Anyway, the people who are being forced to stay in Mexico while their asylum requests are being approved, she called them illegals. They're not illegal. Asylum is a completely legal process, recognized not only by United States law, but by international law, by the United Nations. It's legal. They're not illegals if they're requesting asylum. I don't have a basement. No, I'm sorry. There is a basement in this house. It's not my house.
Border as he locks.
I do have dual citizenship, Allison.
Down the Capitol, spending $4 billion for international vaccine equality around the globe.
What is this? Why are we doing this for vaccine equality? Here's the problem. If you don't vaccinate the rest of the world after you're finished vaccinating your country, if the developing world, which by the way just pledged billions to help get the developing world vaccinated, what's going to happen is the virus will mutate, like in South Africa, like in Britain, like etc. And there will be a variant of the vaccine, of the virus, that the vaccine doesn't do anything to. theoretically. So you're done with the dress rehearsal vaccine that we're the dress rehearsal virus that we're dealing with right now. You get a virus that mutates, which biologically is its imperative, and then we all die because people travel. Cujo, can I get the vaccine in Canada? LP says, Kevin Williams, you need to sign up at that website, young man, so they will send you emails. I know. Yeah, I do copy, and I am signed up, but I didn't get an email about it. I got a text, and we still haven't heard from producer Joanna. At least I haven't noticed her in the chat, so I'm guessing that she is busy trying to get herself a vaccine appointment, and if she does, God bless her.
There can be no question. This man is unquestionably committed to one thing: putting America last. That's my open.
Is it? That's your open. Someone was going to send me something at yourkevinlyfather.com. Let me just check and make sure I got that or didn't get that. And so far, nothing has come through, whoever requested my email address. Yeah.
Let me know what you think on my Facebook and Twitter, #Judge Jeanine. And if you like my opens, you love my book, Don't Lie to Me, available in stores everywhere.
Just so much stupidity crammed into 3.5 minutes, or however long that. How long does that go for? About 9 minutes. But it seemed like so much longer. So much stupidity crammed in there. I don't know. I don't know how to even feel about transgendered people competing in a sport where they're not biologically that sport. Is it something that we should even worry about? Is it going to be that much of? Are there going to be so many incidents of it that girls' sports will cease to exist? What about boys' sports? What if there's a particularly skilled biological woman athlete who then competes as a transgendered man with other men and dominates them or beats them? Does that mean that boys' sports, do I have to stop playing? I don't care. But should I be concerned about this? Is there a reason to be concerned about this? Shelly says, hit the like button, kids. Yes, hit the like button. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button there. Rick M says she has to tilt her head in order to look like she's raising an eyebrow on the cover of her book. Maybe that is true. I don't know. I don't comment on women's appearances. I let the eyebrows comment for themselves. What should we do now, kids? I got no direction now. I just want to sign up for vaccines. I just want to dump you people and do that. What else did I say we were going to cover? No, says that random. Robert Kelly says, Kevin, you can sell merch for cash. Yes, we can, but I do have to first produce. The T-shirts that those of you who are on Patreon or those of you who've made big donations via Cash App and or PayPal or Venmo, I got to get you guys some T-shirts, and I'm working on that with producer Rich. I still haven't done the credits. It's been a busy weekend. My son's in town, and we've had an absolutely fantabulous time. And he's going to be here in a little while. I'm not wearing a watch. By the way, I ordered myself a watch that keeps my heart rate and stuff like that, so that when I'm on the elliptical, I'll tell you about. We can discuss all of that. We'll talk about our weight and stuff like that after I do the credits. Stephanie's husband gets his vaccine this Friday. Woo! The judges are also happy with that. Let's do one more little random thing. Let's just check in on Fox and Friends from this morning. Or Tucker just started. It's 5:46 already. Holy smokes, time flies. Oh, we're coming up on 2 hours of broadcast already. I was just going to jump in and say, let's have a moment of silence. And that moment turned into this. Kevin sells merch for cash. That's a good T-shirt right there. Let's just check what was important on Fox and Friends. At Random likes to watch Fox and Friends in the morning. I don't know why. It's not like At Random doesn't have any stress in her life. We all do right now. That's a reference to the fact that we're all under tremendous stress. Plagued by Society. Her dad gets the vaccine this Friday. My dad may already have received the second dose of the vaccine. If not, it's going to be today, tomorrow, or very, very soon.
Miss a minute of Fox and Friends first. Fox and Friends starts now.
Bye.
Okay, let's jump ahead. We got to jump ahead because they do the music, and I don't want to get a copyright strike.
Rain down over a Denver suburb.
This is just terrifying. Fox News alert. This was the plane crash that didn't crash. The engine, one of the engines on a 777, I believe, imploded, exploded or something, and parts of it rained down on the city below in Colorado. Holy smokes. Let's watch this. Let's see what Fox is concerned about this morning. My guess is Cuomo.
All right, we start with a Fox News alert. Boeing orders the grounding of its 777 fleet.
Wow, I didn't hear about this. The entire fleet. This is an engine on fire.
After a plane engine explodes over Colorado. Debris, as you have seen over the last couple of days, rained down over a Denver suburb. The owner of that house is going to be with us later today.
Yeah, caught it on the Ring doorbell as well. One of those that Brian has. You can catch the video of what's happening outside your house. Todd Pyro joins us live as...
Whoa, show me the Ring video. It's just going to be so quick. It's not going to show us anything.
The FAA demands emergency inspections. Todd?
Steve, Ainsley, and Brian, good morning.
What van chase? I want to find a van chase. Typically at the end of Fox and Friends, they do like the news you can use or whatever.
241 passengers and crew were...
Okay, so that's enough. That's everything we need to know about that. Let's just jump ahead.
Ground was hurt. This is a freight plane flying over the Netherlands. Also suffered an engine failure just after takeoff. It was a different model, but fitted with the same Pratt & Whitney engine. And like Steve alluded to earlier, coming up later this morning, hear from a man who walked outside his home to find debris from that plane. Can't wait.
So the same thing just happened. No wonder they've grounded the fleet. If I'm understanding correctly, I'm grazing through this as much as you guys are.
Wait for that interview, guys. Back to
ways, but with the growing nursing home scandal.
Which app, Allison? Allison, I think you're way behind us. Somebody tell Allison that she's like 30 minutes behind it. Allison, hit the live button. When you do, the broadcast will be over because you're already like 20 minutes behind. I don't even know what app right now which app she's referring. I don't know. It's so long ago.
People are really looking into what Governor Cuomo's powers are. And
thank you, Robert Kelly. Robert Kelly just upped his pledge on, it wasn't just this. This is back on the 19th. Thank you. I didn't get a chance to thank Chef Robert, who's in the room right now, or just was. Anyway, thank you very much for upping your pledge on Patreon. You're the best. Okay. Cujo says a woman stole a catering van and then drove it all around LA, and she was dropping off like food to people and stuff. Okay, cool.
I believe they're going to...
Okay, so the lead story is a plane, and then Cuomo.
...be taken away as far as his emergency powers sometime this week. But what people are focusing on now is not only did he cover up the number of deaths, which he said his big mistake was not coming down on the lies quicker, but now it turns out that if he went out of his way to lie about numbers and what took place and the decisions that were made, he could be in federal trouble. Here's the quote from the Wall Street Journal today, and this is from...
John Dawkins.
Yeah, John Dawkins. This is how it goes. Even if it cannot be proved that the Cuomo administration knowingly provided false information, New York's willful failure to provide information may itself constitute a criminal offense. Remember, they tried to avoid this Department of Justice investigation inquiry, particularly if the intent was to thwart a federal investigation, which, after all, is exactly what Ms. DeRosa reported.
All right, well, this is just an opinion piece. This is all speculation at this point. But I want to go to this because this looks like people are skating, and so that's the news I can use.
Well, the mayor here announced a couple of days ago that they were pulling the plug on the New York rinks that were operated by Donald Trump's organization because he just wanted to pull the plug. And that caught so many people off guard. It's like, wait a minute. The season's not over, and you're going to close them? We got at least another month falling down on the ice like that guy right there.
Watch this. Here
Gets right back up again. I love that.
are some of the people who have relied on this ice for leisure time activity outside during the pandemic, and they're steamed at the governor rather than the mayor.
It's really
let them skate.
devastating.
There's certain things that have to be above politics. One of them is ice skating, I gotta say.
You know, my kids have been in this
Good night, Stephanie. Be good. Get better.
program for 6 years, and we're just one of hundreds of families that.
Allison says she's happier in the past, especially the late 70s, early 80s. A lot of polyester in your happy zone.
You know, we really enjoy this program and stuck with it. You know, this is like Christmas for our kids. This is the one thing that they look forward to every year. And to have it snatched away from us without any explanation, it's really crazy.
It's really upsetting because I was...
So they cover this for 5 minutes on Fox and Friends. 5 minutes they talk about it. And then there's a brief little something on Merrick Garland, it looks like. Let's zoom ahead here. I want to see this this van thing that they're talking about. See if anybody interesting comes on. Fox and Friends, by the way, just chock full of commercials. Mostly for MyPillow. I'm not sure what that's about, but we'll get through there. We'll see if there's anything interesting coming up. Steve Scalise is on. He's outraged about something. Let's see what it is. Okay, so here's Steve Scalise. Go ahead.
Welcome back. Congress expected to vote this week on the Democrats' nearly $2 trillion COVID relief or / rescue package, but there's more in the fine print that's really going to aggravate you.
Here to break it all down, House Minority Whip Steve Scalise. Mr. Scalise, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to be with y'all.
It's good to have you
I'm not going to take down my PayPal QR code for Steve Scalise, but here he is.
as well. So, you know, when you hear COVID rescue, you think, oh, that's great. All the money's going to go to COVID. But when you look at what's included, it looks like the $15 per hour minimum wage is in there.
Okay. That'll provide relief for a lot of families who are suffering financially. That's fantastic.
$270 million for arts and humanities, $200 million for museums and libraries, $50 million for family planning, and $112 million for Bay Area rapid transit funding in Nancy Pelosi's district.
Oh, okay. So Biden has said, hey, Republicans, tell us exactly what you don't want in this bill, and we'll talk. But the Republicans are unwilling to say, take this away. So it's at $1.9 trillion.
It doesn't look like all that money's going to COVID.
Right. It gets worse than that, unfortunately, when you look at the bill that Pelosi's bringing this week. Less than 10% of the money in this massive $1.9 trillion bill is for health-related items. I thought this was...
That's completely untrue. But boy, doesn't it suck to be in the minority and not have any power whatsoever, Steve Scalise? I'm not even going to listen to him. He's irrelevant. Let's move on. Something about Cuomo, I'm sure. They spend a bunch of time talking about Cuomo. I'm looking for this van chase that was spoken of by Cujo. Oh, the Muppet Show. What's the Muppet Show doing there? Hold on. This is Tom Cotton, it looks like. A Disney disclaimer for the Muppets. This program includes negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures. These stereotypes were wrong then and are wrong now. Wow. I had not heard about that.
Learn from it and spark conversation to create a more...
There's sometimes some kind of huge bass tone going on in my head. I don't know. That's coming from the broadcast.
More inclusive.
Something really low frequency, and if that's bugging you folks, I apologize. It's not something that's coming out of my broadcast.
Future together. So rather than get rid of that content, which is very expensive, they're putting that label at the beginning of it.
Okay, so they didn't cancel the Muppets. They're still going to show it. They're just going to say this is appropriate, which is way better than what they did on ABC with Bugs Bunny, where they took all the violence out of Bugs Bunny and the Roadrunner. Then it just got weird. Duck season, rabbit season, 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 rabbit season, duck season, fire! And then no fire. And then suddenly Daffy's like all covered in soot and he's turning his beak around. It didn't make any sense!
What do you think about that?
I'm not sure what part of the Muppets. I'm trying to think of what's controversial on the Muppets. Is it the Phenomenama thing? They drink and smoke a whole lot in the Muppets. Yeah, if somebody drank or smoked. The one thing that's controversial is one time Miss Piggy asked John Denver to take his glasses off, and then she's like, no, put them back on. John Denver looks very, very odd without his glasses. Or he did, anyway.
Total Mickey Mouse move, guys. But
it's a joke.
But seriously, I mean,
okay.
Disney.
Oh, now we're going to get serious about the Muppets? Hold on, kids. We're going to get serious about the Muppets.
Is putting these kind of disclaimers on the Muppets or other old movies in its catalog. Not removing them from Disney Plus because they don't want to lose the revenue from its subscribers.
Right.
But at the same time, just last year, they thanked an agency of the Chinese Communist Party that is responsible for concentration camps and genocide in Xinjiang province, China, for helping them film a movie. It is outrageous and appalling. It's kind of what they did a few years back here in the United States.
Okay, so you're making fun of them for apologizing for racially insensitive material, and you're criticizing them for working with the people. I mean, they're apologizing for things that you're criticizing them for. Or are you saying that they're hypocrites? There's got to be a singular line of logic here, and there is none. At random says probably Asian stereotypes given to violence against them, and that's happening right now. I don't know. I love the Muppets, but I'm trying to think of specific incidents on the Muppet Show. I'm sure there are. The Count sounds like Melania. That's true, Marcy. Judges agree.
If you recall, they threatened to cut Georgia off as a site of filming and making movies because the Georgia legislature wanted to protect unborn children, yet they're perfectly willing to work with Chinese communists who are responsible for genocide against their own people. It's really appalling.
Do you think we'll have a Muppets commission to look at this? Would it be bipartisan?
We might have to go through the entire Disney catalog, but it's not just the Muppets. They've got disclaimers on all kinds of shows on that catalog, but they haven't taken those things down. They still want that 12.
Well, Disney has a history of taking things down. I mean, you can't get Song of the South. Disney took that movie off because of the racial undertones of it, and that wasn't taking it off. That was just taking it out of the country. You can get it in some foreign countries still, but you can't. You just can't get Song of the South because of it's racist. David Mickelson says Peter Sellers does a caricature impersonation of a Romani person for a song called A Gypsy Violin. Okay. Thank you, David. I don't remember that, but David, I do remember Peter Sellers being very funny. Spike Milligan's impression of several other cultures in a rendition of It's a Small World, similarly offensive.
$12.99.
It was a different time. A better time, but a different time.
$9 a month.
Senator Cotton, thanks for joining us.
Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Jillian has some more headlines for us.
Okay, so Senator Cotton has a weird undertowing of very, very low frequency noise, and I don't know what that was. David Mickelson, when Johnny Cast hosted the 14th episode of season 5, David Mickelson really knows his Muppets, by the way. The barn set where most of the program takes place features a very prominent Confederate flag.
Hey, Jillian.
I say take him off the air.
Good morning, and let's start with a Fox News alert. United Airlines.
I mean, Stanley and Waldorf were trying to take him off the air for years. A couple of old white men complaining and trying to cancel the show. Who knew? Them there were soothsayers.
Airlines grounding its Boeing 777 fleet after an engine explodes mid-flight.
God, that must have been scary on the flight. I mean, I know that a plane can land, that a jet engine can land on one engine, but oh my God. Be texting everybody. I always loved you. I'd be texting that to Colonel Sanders.
The plane with more than 240 people on board making an emergency landing 15 minutes after taking off, or just minutes after taking off, I should say, from Denver. Take a listen.
Denver, departure United 328 Heavy Mayday aircraft just experienced engine failure, need a turn immediately. 328 Heavy, left or right turn? Left turn.
Is that the man? That's not the calmest man on the face of the planet? We're going down! We're going! Mayday! Mayday! Tell my wife and girlfriend I love them!
Can you imagine? The explosion causing pieces of the plane's engine to rain down on a Denver suburb. This happened on Saturday. Nobody was hurt, thankfully. The FAA and NTSB are investigating, and we'll keep you updated. Meantime, President Biden is expected to hold a moment of silence at the White House today to mark a grim milestone. The U.S. inches closer to 500,000 coronavirus deaths. It is expected to surpass that number today. Biden is...
Look at the graphic. They left a space after the comma. 498 and then 901 deaths.
Expected to deliver remarks at sunset during a candlelight ceremony to honor those who lost their lives from the coronavirus. Many Texans remain under a boil water advisory, with millions more facing water supply issues following record-breaking winter weather. But Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is mocking the state over the energy crisis. Take a listen to this.
Hope they learn the lesson. When we build power, when we build anything now, we have to take into account that climate change is real.
Coming up, we will have a live report in Dallas on the current situation in Texas. And in California, Governor Gavin Newsom is coming under new scrutiny over his use of behested payments. Fair Political Practices Commission data shows the payments jumped in 2020 to $226 million from just $12 million in 2019. Meanwhile, the effort to recall Newsom nears 1.8 million signatures. At least 1.5 million signatures must be validated by next month to move forward. That is a look at your headlines. I will send it back to you.
So far, most of them are being authenticated. I think 83%, so he's in trouble.
Yep.
We'll see what happens.
We'll
that doesn't come to 1.5 million then.
All right. Thank you, Jillian. All right. Meanwhile, 717 here, the nation's leading infectious disease.
All right. Let's move ahead here. I want to see if we can find that van chase. Then we'll roll the credits, and then we'll talk a little bit more about personal stuff if you guys want to. We'll have time to share. Not that that's stopping any of you guys. Okay, here's some more footage of the plane. Let's see. This is the guy's front yard.
Of a jet engine from an airplane.
Yeah.
So
it's just crazy because
crazy.
As I look at those images of your house, I see the picture window right there. If you're in your living room, you're 10 or 15 feet away from that. And if anybody would have been in that truck, they'd be dead.
I'm 10 or 15 feet away from the truck. I'm right next to that window.
Unbelievable. Well, I was reading one of the accounts. One of your neighbors, I think the lady who lives right across the street from you, thought it was a UFO, some debris from a UFO.
Sure.
Yeah, it was pretty strange. I have here, I don't know how well you can see this, but this is the
soundproof?
honeycomb shrouding. It's the actually the structure of the shrouding that housed the engine. And
he's not supposed to have that. The NTSB does not want anybody touching anything. Okay, I'm probably fine, probably okay. Granted, an engine fell on his yard or on his lawn, but you're really, really not supposed to touch any of that stuff.
And it blew into pieces. Here's a smaller piece right here.
Yeah, no.
It blew in. These pieces rained down from the sky for probably 2 or 3 minutes after.
Yeah.
And those pieces were found along with this piece in the back of my truck after we started looking at it yesterday. So.
And I know it was either the NTSB or United or somebody came and picked up all the big parts. And apparently they just left that little stuff there. And after that happened, I understand you've had a...
Oh my God. That's the back of his truck. Did they leave the little parts there? Or did they not know because he'd already taken the little parts inside? Yeah. I don't know. I feel terrible for the guy. I hope he gets a nice new truck. But...
parade of cars going through your neighborhood as people are looking for the stuff that fell out of the sky.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon was actually pretty pleasant, and then it started really getting cold, and the local police had come and blocked off the street and blocked off the neighborhood and everything else because they started to realize how big the debris field was.
Oh, man.
But the NTSB really didn't show up until around 6 o'clock Saturday night. And it was dark and snowing like crazy and cold.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So they came and just swooped up all the pieces that they
Holy
could find.
smokes.
But these little pieces like...
Yeah, you can see by the vapor trail here, it's going back and forth. That's not what a jet trail looks like. We all know what it should look like, a nice straight line.
This are everywhere.
Yeah, I bet they are. And I understand they just wafted down for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, typically, Rick's right. They take every single piece they can find at the airplane and try, because they will trace if a fire happened here, the explosion happened here, they can see from the damage, etc., exactly how that thing imploded or exploded.
After the plane flew over. You know, given the fact, Kirby, that you were so close to that.
How does Steve Ducey not know this? They were announcing this on the news. They do every single time a plane crashes. Do not touch anything. Do not take souvenirs. Oh my God. Where did they have to fly in from? They left Colorado going for Hawaii and they had to turn around. Or they landed, I think they left Denver. And I'm pretty sure they landed in Denver. Again, I don't know too much about this story, but they were going to Hawaii. I know that.
Thing falling on you. Have you tried to wrap your head around how lucky you and your wife are?
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, you heard that. My son had just left to go to work, so he had just exited the front door maybe 5 minutes before that happened. And when I stepped outside and realized what it was, my first look was up in the sky to see where the plane was coming down. Because I figured a piece that big, the plane was going to be lost. So you looked up and all you saw was that stuff raining down from the sky. And then I realized that nothing else was happening here. And then there was a relief here. But the people on the plane, they had a good 30 or 40 minutes of terror the whole time. So I'm much more fortunate to be here on the ground and put up with the brief that we had than to be on that plane and wondering if you're going to make it down safe or not.
Absolutely. And the guy who was flying that plane, hero pilot, landed it after all of that worry, and I understand the entire plane burst into applause when he landed it safely out at the
Well, I'm sure it did, because you know, on the ground here, we had the Denver police, or the Broomfield police were here very quickly.
Yep.
But nobody had any word on the plane. And all the local news channels were still all involved in their normal programming.
Yeah.
So we didn't have any information at all on the plane or what had happened or anything until probably about 20 or 30 minutes later.
Sure.
And then it was conflicting whether, well, yeah, they're still up in the air burning off fuel, or yes, they've landed already. But apparently they just turned right around and landed pretty quickly.
Well, I think the people on the plane were the first to know, and you were the second because it landed in your front yard. Kirby Clements, we thank you very much for joining us from out there in the Colorado area. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Good luck. All right. All right. Now you know. Meanwhile.
Now you know. I'm just trying to find the, like the news, all the news that's fun or something that usually comes at the end of the broadcast here to see if they've got any kind of a van chase. Nothing about a van chase there. Let's do a quick Google of it. If somebody has a link to it, let me know, and we'll take a look at this van chase that folks are talking about. Van chase. We'll look up news. Police. Driver of stolen cargo van arrested 3 days ago. Here we go. Suspect runs into freeway traffic after stolen van chase. 5 days ago. Pursuit. Driver in custody after ditching stolen van.
Way through Silver Lake here now, just about a half mile ahead. He is going to run into it.
Okay, so that's a stolen van. So he drives the van around. So this is a long car chase. I don't want to get a YouTube copyright strike for this. Maybe we'll just find a news report on it. Let's go back to the search that I did. Okay, and that's 3 minutes long here. So let's just take a look at ABC 7.
Yeah, and I think that that's an additional concern for the LAPD. You see there's someone in custody on the bottom of your screen. We believe...
Let's see if they show any highlights here. They're just showing the arrest. So if somebody comes up with a good link to that, well, that's it. Yeah, send me like a synopsis or something, or a news channel's actual coverage of it. If I do it off of YouTube, then YouTube will think that I'm now stealing that video, and I'll get a nice YouTube strike for it. And I'm already demonetized. I don't want to be the next step, which will be like, I'll be gone. I think that was a guy, Rick. Okay, so I'm going to do the credits, and then we'll come back and we'll just talk about nonsense for a second. That's all the news coverage from today. Thanks for watching. If you want to support the broadcast, seeing that I'm demonetized, then try that Cash App link up there. If you don't have the Cash App, send me $5. You'll get $5 back, and I'll get $15 for referring you to the Cash App. And as my gift to you, if you live in the United States, by the way, if you're outside the United States, don't do that. The Cash App doesn't work. But if you're in the United States, you can order a debit card for the Cash App, and you get $1 off any coffee anywhere. Anywhere. You also get 10% off of, I think, Domino's. I'm just coming up with stuff now. Whole Foods, Taco Bell, maybe. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff. Once you get the Cash App, you'll see that. So we'll cover that. We'll do that. We'll do the closing credits. Oh, and also Patreon, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. These are all ways you can send me money and support me. I'd appreciate it. And here are some closing credits right now.
Kevin, thanks for that.
And we're back. Okay, so what can I tell you guys? Today, pretty good day. I had my yearly appointment with my cardiologist. As some of you may know, I had a heart attack a couple of years back. My cardiologist is absolutely thrilled with me. The last time I saw her a year ago, I was 199 pounds. This morning, I was 183.2. So all that on the elliptical has been paying off. I should just set up an elliptical in here. I can exercise while I work out. I mean, while I talk to you guys. I can work out while you knows what I'm saying. And my medications seem to be in great balance. And yeah, I'm never going to die. Oh, we also took my blood pressure while I was on the phone, and it was perfect. So good news all around. So that was good. And I'm now playing with a wire with my teeth. So I don't know if that's good, but it can conduct electricity. I have these vampire teeth. You can see my incisors or something. So I like to hook things. I'm missing a tooth somewhere. I don't know which one, but I'm missing it. I'm not missing it, but the dentists say I'm missing it. L7 or something. That might be my spine. I could be missing a vertebrae. I don't know. And my bottom teeth also have vampire teeth. It's like a pointy one on both sides. So that's what's going on. What's going on with you guys? It's 6:15. Rachel's already started. I'm going to go exercise. I'm going to eat some salad. I'm going to go exercise. So what is that? It's from when I last saw her, 199, 183. So that's about 16 pounds. But all of that has been just this year, since January. Really, just the last month and a bit. And she's so happy with my progress. She said, I'm the poster boy. She says, you're my new poster boy for what you can do. And I said, excuse me, poster man. And she didn't ask how I identified. So screw you. Allison says, I don't know why my comments are late. I can assure you that I'm responding in real time. It's 9:15 right now, New Jersey. AM or PM? That's the question, Allison. Yeah, no, you're watching in real time if it's 9:15 there. I'm getting a little bit of a rash. Welcome to Kevin Medical Talk. I don't know what this is. I got a little bit of a rash right there, and it's only in this one little spot, and it's kind of itchy. These are bumpy. This is gross, isn't it? This is really gross. And I don't know what that is. See that rash? Is that syphilis, guys? Am I dying? It's just right there. What can I put on this? Some lidocaine? Plagued by Society says, Cujo said, do you ever do Mano on here? No. And the reason is, A, you should watch Mano on your own or with friends. But also you should, MSNBC is very, very picky about copyright. And I will get a copyright strike. I've never had anything from Fox News. I don't think they care. But Mano, MSNBC, regardless of the content, regardless of the fair use of it, they will revoke my privileges at anything. Plagued by Society says, but I bet it all comes off your backside. Huh. That's what we women always say, at least. Like I lost 20 pounds, but it was all from my butt and my boobs. Actually, I've lost 17 pounds. Most of it is in my penis. So that's what happens to guys. Plagued by Society says, we never lose it from the parts we want to lose it from. Wrist herpes, that's what it is. I knew syphilis was a bad reference. That's wrist herpes right now. So that'll just keep coming back. Cortisone ointment, I'll look for some. I probably have some. Thank you. Oh yeah, LP's a nurse. So thank you. What can I do? Since you're a nurse, you might know. What the hell can I do for these wings coming out from the side of my head? What is that? I need a man bun, said nobody ever. Maddow is fantastic. I love Rachel Maddow, and someday I'm going to marry Rachel Maddow. You mark my words. I checked, she does not have a boyfriend. Plague says, so glad you read my comments. They were really important. Everything is important. What else was I going to tell you guys? I don't know. Not important. Oh, yeah. So my kids are in town. My one kid is normally in town. The other kid, my son, was in town. We got to play doubles tennis yesterday. We had a very, very good time. There's a gentleman we know who has been vaccinated now. He's in his 70s. But if I can play tennis when I'm 70, and he's competent, he's a lot of fun with whom to play, because he can put the ball around. And he played. My son was on his team. My son, of course, has been tested recently for coronavirus. Doubles, you don't play doubles right next to each other. You're actually always 6 feet apart. It's outside. We asked if he was comfortable with that. He was. He's been vaccinated, both vaccines. It's been a couple of weeks. He should be good. But we still, masked up, etc. when we were coming on and off the court, that sort of thing. But we just had a fantastic time, and I am so lucky to have just wonderful kids. Really, really wonderful kids. My son lives up in Seattle. So for him to be down here and spending a little time, he's spending time with his mother. His mother came out from Georgia, my ex. She came out from Georgia, so she's hanging out with both kids. And my son, he might be here now. I don't know. But he's supposed to hang out here with me because my daughter and her mom want to go do something with my daughter's friends or something like that. And my son has no interest in that. So where in Seattle does he live? He lives in the Renton area. Do you want the specific address? Are you sending him something? He takes Venmo, I believe. So you can send him there. Don't send him any money. He works for Amazon. He's like leveraged right now. He got in on the GameStop. Like he knows everything about everything. So at least all the stuff that counts. All right, guys, let's wrap up this broadcast. I'm not sure that anyone's even watching anymore except LP and Rick and Cujo. So go watch Rachel. I'm going to go see if my son is here, and I'm going to go have another salad and lose another pound, I hope. LP, no, I don't want more info. LP tricked me, by the way. LP has my cell phone number. And she's not on Twitter anymore, but she ended up with my cell phone number unintentionally. So I hope LP is not a crazy stalker person, because she could be calling and waking me up on a regular basis, and that's no fun. Oh, actually, no, she couldn't, because I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Ha-ha, LP. Check and mate. Daft Punk. Hi, Half-Ton. So Daft Punk is breaking up. And as somebody on Twitter pointed out, why tell us? Just give the helmet to the new guy. At Random is here. Also in Seattle. Her address, hold on, I have it here somewhere. You can send, LP does not work for Amazon as far as I know. I mean, At Random does not work for Amazon as far as I know. Could be, I don't know. Hold on, I have her address. 5326 Southwest Charleston Street. So if you want to send money to at random, 98116 is the 98116 is the correct address for that. I'm gonna wake up with LP standing at the foot of my bed one morning. I hope so. I really hope so, and I hope that she brings the vaccine with her. All right, I'm gonna check the vaccine. See if you guys want to stay on the line while I check the vaccine one more time. See if I can. It says my turn. Let me refresh here. See availability. Nothing there. See availability for walk-up. Nothing there. So I'm just going to keep refreshing this all night. I'm going to sit at my chair in the studio all night long, just refreshing to see if I can get myself a vaccine. If it's available for me, I'm not taking it away from someone else, right? I don't want to take it away from somebody old, but if it says I'm eligible, then it's okay to get it, right? Because I really want to play hockey again. God, I miss hockey. Do you know how much weight I'd lose if I was playing hockey? I would disappear at some point. Kevinly daughter will be back. Her mother, I'm not sure when her mother leaves. Her brother leaves Wednesday. I'm not sure when her mother leaves. I can't tell you. So she'll be back on the broadcast at some point. And we have plans. We have plans there. So a little cortisone for this. And how did I, well, like, I must have, I don't know how did I get a rash right there? It doesn't make any sense. Maybe I brushed it against poison ivy, but right there? I don't know. But thank you, Hive Mind, for telling me what to do with that. LP says, Kevin, LP, yes, go for it. Oh, you mean the vaccine? Yeah, no, I'm going to get myself some vaccine. If they say I'm eligible, I'm not going to argue with them. If I was in New Jersey, I would be eligible just because I'm a smoker. I'm not, but I would say I was. Playing outside, possibly. Maybe at the tennis courts or something, I brushed up against some poison ivy. I have no idea. It's just weird. It was just right there. Allison says, I saw my father at least 2 times over the week, but he hardly ever knows who I am. I'm sorry, Allison. Can't Act 6 visirment because assisted living facilities and COVID. Well, I'm sorry that you can't Act 6 visirment, Allison, and I hope that changes soon for you. Hello.
Bye, love you.
Oh, you're leaving?
Yeah.
Is your brother here?
No, he's gonna come by. Bye.
Oh, so you're taking my car? Yeah. All right, we'll enjoy that. You're welcome. Yes, you may. Yes, you may take the car. So I'm not going anywhere. I can walk. I can ride. Actually, I can ride my bike. I'm in a pretty decent neighborhood. I can ride my bike around. But I don't need to go anywhere. I'm just going to go and run a few miles on my elliptical. And make my, and next year, I'm going to weigh, my target weight is 110, but I feel like at that point, I'm going to have to buy new bras. Allison, you're perplexed? I'm so sorry. No. No, your comments are not way behind. I saw what you said, Allison, I think. You said something about your dad, but something about, it came out Act 6 visirment. Can't visit him? You can't get a vaccine? I don't know. I don't know what you're saying, Allison. I'll give it a second just in case. You seem up to speed. You do seem like you're up to speed right now. But if you can tell us what you're not able to do in her nursing home, that would probably tell her something. Plagued by Society says, yeah, you show her who's the parent here, Kev. Yeah. And bring it back full. She literally can't. There's no hydrogen available except at Cal State LA. And their little station, which is part of an experimental project it's on the campus with hydrogen vehicles and Cal State LA, it's only available 9 to 5 during the weekdays. So she can't bring it back full. Otherwise, all the hydrogen is gone in the area because of the storms in frickin' Texas. But it's still free, so I'm not complaining. Allison says, I'm waiting. Rick M says, I'm bordering on going from training bra to a cup. Might not be a bad idea, especially since you're a chef. Thank God I don't live with a chef because I could not. I would not I shan't not eat healthy. I would just eat whatever that chef made for me. Because it's rude. If somebody makes me, I tell you what I will eat, what I want right now. You know what I'm going to have for dinner? I'm going to throw all those pounds right back on. There's a place in Pasadena, which is just up the road for me. And they have, what are they called? What are they called? Someone pork something. Pork, the little square pieces of pork cubes. What are they? Why am I blanking on this? My favorite, they're not bacon. They're right next to bacon. They're half fat. Pork. When you roast pork, it's a pork. Come on, what is the name for it? Pork belly. Pork belly. They have like a pork belly and cheese sandwich at this place in Pasadena. I'm assuming they haven't gone out of business. Let me describe it to you. I'll look it up here. Hold on. Not pork rinds, pork belly. There's a friend I have in Seattle that I will drive up there if he's making a pork belly. The place is called Slater 5050 if you're in Pasadena or near Pasadena. They are still, looks like they're still online. Oh, they have multiple locations. Holy crap, I didn't realize they were a chain. They're in California, Colorado, Hawaii, Nevada, and Texas. They're in Hawaii? Hold on, we got to look up in Honolulu. There's a Slater 5050s. Oh, it's coming soon. I am so sorry, Marcy. I am so sorry. That is the biggest. It's going to be at the Lanai, which just means patio, by the way. Hawaiians. At Mamala Bay. So I guess Kamala Harris has her own patio in Hawaii. Let's go back to California. Just within California, you got Anaheim Hills, Covina, Fresno, Hermosa Beach, Huntington Beach, Pasadena. Holy crap, I didn't realize there were so many places you could get pork belly. Pork belly is the fat part of bacon, so therefore the best part. Thank you, Rick. Judges confirm. Not Anaheim Hills. No. Food, lunch and dinner, California. Oh, they got different dinners and lunch and dinners all over the place. Dinner, local specials. Oh, look at this, Porkapalooza. Our signature bacon flight. They have a bacon flight. Hold on, we're going close up for this. Oh my God. Oh my God. This looks like there's bacon popcorn in here. Holy crap. I'm right now, I'm zooming in on this because I am tubing myself. And look at this. Hold on. Oh, well, hold on. Our signature bacon flight for 3 to 5 guests? Yeah, right. Or 1 bacon addict present. Bacon, salt, and vigor chicharron. Right there. Look at that. Oh, God. Salted caramel bacon kettle corn. Holy crap. Oh, my God. Sweet and sour bacon agave pork wings? Crispy pork belly with jalapeno bacon jam and Slater's garden ham. Oh my God, it's Porkapalooza. Porkapalooza. Look at that. Oh, I'm in love. What else is a local special? Let's go down here, see what. Ahi tuna pork poke nachos. Okay, I'm in. Slater's vampire dip. That sounds good. 50 sloppy Joe sliders. Who cares? Kona chicken lettuce wraps. That almost sounds healthy. No, thank you. Bacon mac and cheese balls. I can make those. Loaded fries. You got bacon, fries, sides, wings, flatbreads. Flatbread. Okay, barbecue pork belly flatbread. Right there. I could do that, but that's not what I'm talking about. Salads, local specials. Oh, here it is. Southern pork belly grilled cheese. This is what I'm in love with. House-made pimento cheese, good. Crispy pork belly, jalapeno bacon jam, and pickled red onions. Stuffed in sourdough bread with pickles on the side. Keep those pickles on the side. I will give them to whomever is paying for this sandwich. They can have the pickles. Pickles are, by the way, they're healthy. I'm not interested. Not interested. Let's see. Oh, it's just my doctor's office texting me asking how they did. Well, I know now why my cardiologist said I was the poster boy, and she was so happy for me. She's just looking for 5 stars because they want me now to review the appointment. So I thought I was something special. I am not. Eve said, I already had 3 tacos and a couple cups of guacamole. See, there's your cups right there, Rick. Those are the cups that you need, cups of guac. I have guac in the fridge. I got to eat it before it goes bad. Okay, guys, I got to go. I got guac waiting for me. It's been a pleasure. Everybody be good. I'm not going to play the credits again because I already did that. This is all post-credit nonsense. See if there's anything else there. At random, you can have my pickles. I will see you at Slater 50/50s, which is not open, but you can do takeout. So I will meet you at 50/50, Slater 50/50s for takeout. Your closest location to you in Seattle is California, Valencia. So that is about 45 minutes from me. It is about 17 and a half hours from you. I will see you there tomorrow. Get in your car now. I'm assuming you can drive overnight. Jessica, bye. Eve, goodbye. LP, you're a monster. I am. Get the guac out of here. I'll tell you where the guac is going. That guac is going right here. Right here in my belly. I'm not going to show you guys. Hold on. That's Munchie trying to call me. I'll call you back, Munchie, if you're still watching. I have a 2-pack. I'm not trying to brag, but I just am. And if I pulled up my shirt right now, you guys would be 33% turned on. I'm just saying. That's the way it is. Eve says, guac is good. I just did big hunks, loose with tomato, salt, pepper. Don't mess it up. Secret is salt. It's a store brand guacamole, so it's not that impressive. It was at Grocery Outlet. It was $1.99. I make my own guac. I get it. Kevin Lee Daughter makes fantastic guac. The proprietors of this house make the best guac you've ever had. The guacamole is good for the shiny hair. It is. So I just leave it in there for about 3.5 minutes. And I use my shower speaker. Well, I do that so that I don't get distracted and get out of the shower. So everybody try that. Also, as something on your face. I'm assuming that guacamole is good for a rash. I'll be trying it on there. Get rid of my herpes. And we will go from there. Guys, it's been a pleasure. I'm going to stop the stream any second now. I hit stop and then it cuts off. Mid-sentence usually. I'm just going to wait. Here it comes.